gbọ́ mi gbòòrò Àlàní débẹ̀débẹ̀ ọ̀kọ́lọ́mọ olúayé mọ́rọ̀sẹ̀ gúgúrú àtẹ̀pà gúgúrú olóyin wọn èfi síbi jẹ mí wọn kó síbi dànù ni wọn ń jẹ mí rọ́ọ̀sì ọwọ́ ni wọ́n fi ń jẹ Àlàní débẹ̀débẹ̀ ọmọ yìí kò ní gbòòrò Àlàní débẹ̀débẹ̀.
One more time, he said.
Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, he said start it over.
Cool. Welcome, everyone, to episode 91 of No Wahala, the podcast. This is your boy Tunde,
Bawo.
joined by co-host Bawo. And
91 is no joke.
Special guest. This is like 3 years in the
incredible.
making.
Yeah.
Incredibly talented.
91 is no joke, guys.
Just finest.
Jos's finest indeed.
Yes, sir.
Representing the North.
Yes, sir.
You know, the North remembers.
The North got something to say.
The North remembers.
Yes. I'm so honored to be here, man.
Oh, wow.
You guys.
To
MI Abaga, ladies and gentlemen.
Attempted to change his name to the guy. Failed.
Why?
My fans were like, what nonsense?
No, you got to just keep, you got to put multiple projects out.
You try to change it to the guy like Drake did the boy.
Yeah, and they were just like, no.
The kid.
We're going to call you MI.
Hove, Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ye tried as well, Kanye. Ye.
No, but Ye was successful.
Ye stuck.
Yeah.
I think he
Did he put out multiple projects as Ye? Or just he said it once and that was good enough?
I think he changed it and it's been Ye ever since. It's been like 2-3 projects since.
Yeah.
Who else has successfully changed their name?
Diddy changed his name multiple times successfully.
But Love was the last one, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, but Diddy was a successful change.
Yeah, Diddy was a successful change.
Diddy was successful to consumers.
Daddy, P. Diddy.
The Diddy one was always funny because Diddy was Puff our entire childhood, and then We Invented the Remix album came out, and then they did the video for We Ain't Going Nowhere, and they did a skit with Ben Stiller. It's like P. Diddy, Papa Diddy,
whatever
Puff,
you call it.
Whatever you call.
Oh, man. Your memory.
I was like 10.
No, I remember that.
Wow.
I remember that video. That video was amazing.
That.
It was an amazing video.
Ben Stiller was so hot then.
That was the moment
that was a big crossover. Like,
how did you meet the parents, meet the fuckers.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, damn, somebody can change their name as many times as they want. People will still remember them as fine.
I'm trying to think who else has successfully changed their name. I think that's about
Kizz.
Prince tried the
wow,
symbol.
Okay, we're just gonna ignore it.
Prince tried who?
Kizz.
Oh, Kizz Daniel. His was
Not
by force.
That's a deep
His was by force.
No, but it's not a real
and then
change.
you say it sounds the same.
Daniel. You say
phonetically, it's like
we're not like Kizz.
Keys.
We don't say Kizz.
Keys, nah. Keys is in it.
They're like it's Kizz Daniel. Still
ladies and gentlemen,
it's just for paperwork.
Shout out to him, by the way. Amazing project.
Very talented human being.
Good. Hits. He is so good.
Hits.
He's like, since he came out, like his
Mr. No Bad Songs, right?
Like he should really be spoken about in the same category as some of the top guys. Because
I feel
think
like
about how many good songs.
No, I feel like the one stumbling block is Showtime. That's the issue. I feel like talent-wise, the man is as good as anybody. It's just the Showtime issues.
I think we're all aligned on that front.
Because
his shows are amazing.
No, I'm just talking about the issues we've had recently. It affects. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we're packaging something.
Because he's
to
such
the world.
a great performer as well.
No, once he gets there,
he does I think next to Burna,
up there.
Yeah, Kizz has.
Oh no, it's undeniable that he makes hits. We cannot deny. That I can't even think of a bad song from him.
Yeah,
I think again the punctuality shows. That's a whole different conversation. But we can't take away from the fact that he has hits under his belt for sure.
No, he's talented. I hope like everything aligns because it's like he could be a great ambassador for us. You know what I mean? Pushing the sound and pushing everything because everyone needs to see what we have. So every time you get somebody with heat that could put out there, you always hope that everything aligns so the world can see it.
Other successful name changes. To Baba.
The OGs don't call. Well, I'm trying to think. Do the OGs call him To Baba or they just can't give up Two-Face?
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
He used to be Titty Boy.
Titty Boy, right? But nobody knew him as Titty Boy.
They knew him as Titty Boy in Atlanta. They
outside of Atlanta. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got Mr. Incredible here.
I failed.
Go ahead.
I failed to change to the guy.
I feel
you
like
actually
don't give
put
up.
out a project as the guy?
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Well, no, I did. I could.
That's what I'm saying. I only
because they would have been legal ramifications.
Oh, is there another The Guy?
No. Just because I'm under contract still with
With
MI Abaga.
Got it. Understood.
So when I was on social media making promises to the fans,
They were like,
As creatives tend to do.
the lawyers were like,
Sir, sir,
time out.
did you remember that you signed this document? Emma was about to be like Ray J on Instagram Live, like, I got the contracts with the gloves on. I got the
that was
contracts.
fire. Ray J has done so much for us.
For us as
the culture.
as the audience, or
He's
as
given
the
us so many classic
Am I about to pull out his phone? Ray J conversation. All the things that Ray J did.
No, Ray J has done so, like, he's given us so many classic cultural moments.
cultural moments.
Yeah,
okay.
he's been like one of the most entertaining.
So does the,
I agree.
Does the video fall under the cultural
1,000%. Because did you ever see Vince Staples talk
was
about it?
Was it for us?
Sir, it
'Cause
was.
It's hurt us more than it's helped.
No, it hasn't. Because let me tell you why. We've been saying that he would one day expose the empire for.
Empire's won already.
Did they though?
See, this is my thing about that woman's children.
I love how we're intentionally
Names,
being
yeah.
obtuse with the names.
So this is my thing, right? Why I think that family is probably as impressive as any other. I feel like that's the one family where you don't have to worry about a sibling, a cousin, an uncle, or aunt asking you for money.
That and the royal family, yeah.
Royal family is like centuries deep in that, right? Like even popular rich people or Jay or, you know what I mean? They still make a reference of, I can't hang with these people for too long because they don't understand what I go through.
Correct.
Right?
Rich people problems.
Homegirl has had every family member in a couple episodes.
We're really not going to say her name.
You're
I love
cashing out. Like she's made, like, I think what she's done is more impressive than anybody else. I can't think of your favorite celeb, your favorite rapper, singer, whatever. They are not hanging with their family for too long. They're not chopping up with, because, you know, you got to worry about auntie's grandson, this person's child. You would love to, but it's a never-ending situation.
That woman set up her family for
They're
financial
all
security.
good. All the siblings are good. Like, you know what I mean? You
Morality
can tell.
aside, yes, they financially took care of it.
It is what it is. I'm not a fan. That's why I'm asking if the video is a good thing, but
I mean,
you got to give it to her.
I'm just saying that Ray J has entertained us
absolutely
for years and still will.
Vince Staples went on, I want to say it was Hot 97 with Tyler the Creator. He was talking about all the different things he's done that have impacted
he's a
Black
legend.
culture, from Moesha to him being an artist to his beef with Fabulous to
the glasses,
the glasses that flip.
He was in the studio with Faith, and
he was apparently the first blood to be on wax, like rapping about that lifestyle.
Wasn't he in studio with Faith and Pac? I've heard that story.
I mean, he's
very good.
He's been in.
I've heard that story.
I think he's related to Snoop, isn't he? He's like Snoop's nephew, like an actual nephew.
I'm not sure about that.
I think him and Brandy are related to Snoop somehow.
Okay. He's like intertwined in everything. It feels like.
Anyways, MI.
What are you drinking, sir?
Unidentified beverage.
Okay.
Secret stuff.
Okay. Yes, but Emma, how you feeling? Thank you for
I'm
joining
good,
us.
man. Of course. This is a privilege to be here with you guys.
Do that.
Episode 91.
91, no.
I'm going to find... 91. What happened the year 91? We'll find something to attach to that significance.
That's fire.
This is going to be a special episode.
I'm a big numbers person, so that's fire.
I love that. MI, welcome.
Thank you.
So how has your stay in New York been so far?
You know, I'm going to be very honest with you guys because I think it's just interesting. I wasn't ready to come to America this time. I've been at home, and when the opportunity came through the headies, because visas are backed up, I was like, I'll take it. You know, I think they did a great job. The American embassy supporting the headies.
That's right.
And so, but I didn't know my like dollar cards had expired, which are attached to my bank, and so I've arrived. I've been like
just vibes
up until this morning. I've been here for like 6 days. I've had no debit card, no Uber, no. I just have cash.
Just living a humble life.
I'm just moving.
You should write a song about it. You should write a song about your experience.
So I was
laughing
and saying,
"Life as the guy."
No, this is not MI right now.
Concept
This is the
album.
guy.
That's the guy. That's the alter ego. The
it's
guy.
like I've learned how connected you have to be in America to truly function, because I'm not connected, I know when I need to like hit someone up, you know, to ask for something, or you know. So it's been interesting but also fun, because when you live like in a place where you're known and you're famous, your life is like the same thing constant. I don't, you know, you have the same experience over and over again. And I think one of the great things that can happen to you if you've ever gotten to a certain level of fame is to have a new experience, you know, even if it's for like a week, to be in a place where no one knows you, or to try something new. You
want to go where everybody...
No, but I think it's great for creatives where you get a shake up in schedule, because I feel like I'm sure you're having different conversations, you know, just a break from routine, and I'm not sure where the idea is going to lead to, but once you know, get back to what it is, you could pull from that and get wherever whether it be writing or creatively coming up with things. I always love when I get to break my schedule you know, abruptly, but it's still a good thing, I think, for creatives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for me, it's been a very inspiring trip, and I've just enjoyed, you know, being alone. I'm getting married soon, so I guess some time to think. I guess some time to think before, you know, just to reflect on life, how blessed I've been. You know, my album is doing amazing.
Yes,
thank God.
Great album.
So, thank you. And it's just a great time, you know. Yeah, and I get to hang out with you guys.
Hey, this has been...
How are you guys?
We're doing well.
We bless God.
Summer's almost over. You know, he's been gallivanting.
Wow, it's cuffing season.
I've been diet gallivanting.
Diet gallivanting is a
Diet
good thing.
gallivanting.
Well, cuffing season is approached. I know you're getting married, but for those of us that haven't,
we gotta get like pointers. We gotta get pointers
yet.
from you. On, you know, we got some pointers from him on how it happened, because you know that video was beautiful.
It was. It went small, big viral.
Yeah, I saw that video and I was like, let me call her.
Love is loving.
It's bigger than the both of us.
Let me call her. Let's figure this out. Like, hey,
right, hey, big head.
Hey, big head.
That's beautiful.
How's your mom?
Right, you got to start with the how's your mom to show that
how's
you're
your mom
involved.
doing? Your little brother still working on his jump shot? You need
wow,
help?
all that.
You need help? All right, I got you.
So how's that feeling though? Like finding your partner, you know?
Yeah, man. I'm very lucky. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm very, very lucky. And Yola is amazing. And she and I, we are on the same page about what happens next. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, and I'm excited. I think that's the best thing that can happen to you when you meet a partner is for both of you to be like, we're both excited to see what happens next.
That's
because
beautiful.
we're together. You know, so I'm looking forward to it. It has really played, like, even like when I listen to my album now, I can just hear, the fruits of the experience that I'm going through. You know, how I talk about, even like how I was writing. It was just easy for me. I didn't have to, like, on this project, I didn't have to try to be too lyrical.
Yeah.
I could just say the thing, and either the story is so interesting that it just hit. You know, it's relatable. It just hit. You know, yeah, man. So I'm lucky, and I hope everyone finds that. You know, even though it's tough in this New York, because I was not even here in summer. I came in the last week,
the end of it,
and I'm like,
so mad.
God damn,
it's a mad thing.
It's definitely interesting.
Today is like, it's interesting.
It is.
You can tell that.
He has a story to tell.
No. You know, every time all my friends are getting married, and I love that for them. It's like, it's so interesting knowing people before they meet the women or men that they're going to spend the rest of their lives with, and just seeing their maturity and seeing like just their mindsets change and the elevation, the growth of their person. It's always interesting to see. When I met MI was outside, right? And,
outside.
You know, it's been wonderful to see everybody mature over the years. You know?
So are you gonna settle down soon?
By God's grace.
I love these questions.
You know, Bawo's been trolling me about this.
The man is asking you a question.
Okay, that's fair.
Question,
you know, okay, I'll be transparent. There is
who's worse between both of you?
In what sense?
Thank you for asking.
Who's more outside?
Oh, him. I have plans to go home to.
You know,
I'm a family man. I got candles at home, plans.
I
can't be out here with him.
If it was 3 years ago, I would agree with you. I'm actually a lot more
Who is worse,
intentional.
though?
I am worse than
Okay,
you.
then.
It's facts.
Because from an observer.
Yeah.
But sometimes, looks are deceiving.
Do you know what it is? It's because I'm Yoruba.
It's not. At this point, it's not deceiving. It's pure the looks.
Bawo Shakiri
I'm a
with
Shakiri.
Yoruba accents. I'm Yoruba.
The Shakiri guys are dangerous, though.
They are.
But he
they
won't
are.
admit
But
to that, right?
I
They're
just said they
dangerous.
are. Warri and Sapele are wild places to be at and not have fun. You know what I mean? Because then we're Delta.
Yorubas have been branded as the demons, right? So we'll take the flack for it. We're like the Italians with the mafia. There's the Russians and they're all doing their mob thing, but the Italians always get their stigma because they've been branded as the mob, right? So just because we've been branded as demons doesn't mean we're always demons. Y'all are wolves too.
Right, but you're not saying you're not a demon. You're
I retired a while ago. I'm
Really?
actually quite intentional with the women that I date now.
Okay. How many are you dating? No.
Right now?
You said the women that you date.
Is it time for a commercial break yet?
It might be.
Is it time for a
It
commercial
might
break?
be.
That was a
All right.
listen.
Back at
Wait, I have to use-
Guys,
I suddenly have to use the restroom.
These gentlemen are giving you guys content. That was great.
I somehow have to use the
segue-
restroom right
That
now.
was content.
No, there's a woman I'm dating right now. I think she's wonderful. I think she's great.
Bless her heart.
It's still very new. I think there's things we're still getting to know about each other that are exciting. It's a fresh thing. I think we're both very sure about what we are looking for.
That's beautiful. See,
what
alignment.
becomes the
'Cause
alignment.
I spoke on that.
And I think what I've learned about myself, not to get all mushy, but what I've learned about myself is in the past, I've dated very beautiful, very accomplished people, but we weren't always aligned because I was accepting things like on a low vibrational space that I would not have accepted otherwise. So I think because of therapy and just like having better,
Man,
better options.
Shout out to therapy.
I was
Therapy's
just
been
about to
great.
ask you what your
Changed my
thoughts on
life.
therapy.
Shout out to therapy.
I used to
Listen,
accept nonsense, and I would also contribute to the nonsense because I was vibrating on a lower place. But we thank God, Sha.
this is how I describe therapy to people. I say every one of us has a story that only us know. What happened to us in our life, how you've been treated, how you feel, and no one has ever heard your story because people just they're too busy with their own stuff, their own
Facts.
shit, right? And therapy is paying someone who has a little bit of knowledge about how to listen and knows how to let you, because other people will project, they'll respond.
It's church without the judgment.
Yeah, and you just sit and you can tell your story.
Yeah.
And everyone deserves for their story to be heard.
Yep.
I really
And
wish
when
people
you hear
would
your
take it more.
story, it will even you listening to yourself talk through your story will heal you. It will help you reflect. And so it's so important telling someone your story. It's it's crazy that this thing is stigmatized.
Yeah.
It's
But you know why
wild.
it is stigmatized.
Yeah.
And we all know why it's stigmatized.
It's wild that it comes from that whole, some people don't want to hear their voice, some people don't want to hear their story, and people don't want to revisit that thing they're running from.
Or we've been taught because of religion or whatever that we should give all
Just
of
lean
our,
to, no, it's
give
the
all our,
weirdest
give
thing.
all our energy and our thoughts to a thing
Weirdest
and let
thing,
that
bro.
be our refuge instead of actually voicing our issues and dealing with things.
So yeah, people,
that's
please go to therapy.
Because it's talking about the thing.
Oh, we always discuss mental health on this podcast. It's like the third.
I love it.
It's like the third branch of government here.
I love it.
The other thing is,
the song. My album is out, so
absolutely.
Let's
plug
cut
it.
us off at any time. We're gonna talk about the album, so if we can get into that.
But I have the record Soldier,
Uh-huh.
and the verse goes: they tell us boys don't cry, but they don't tell us why. So when tears start to fill up my eyes, I want to cry. We talk about it like it's a badge of honor, a pride. But guess who are the leading victims of suicide? It's young men who don't have a way to emote, could be dealing with stress, or his heart could be broken. All this hardening starts partly when and our fathers, we carving them into hard men just starving for hope. And now the world is changing rapidly. Happily, I embrace it. But learning how to be a good man is proving invasive. See, toxic masculinity in it, we all will suffer. But all I know is be tougher to feed and protect my lover. And yeah, is what I was taught that I must be. And honestly, I'm trying to be better, but promise me that if you show me how, you won't punish or tarnish me. This is no laughing matter, no comedy, but I'm asking for my friend though, because this world where we're in now, where men actually need, especially in this moment, to talk about how they feel.
Yep.
In a world that doesn't allow them. I am telling you, everyone is watching this. If you're a sister, if you're a wife, partner, whatever, the women in our lives, I want you, like, there's something going on with the man in your life that he wants to talk about and he doesn't feel he has room to. This is a universal experience all men are going through. And we don't, like, even the women in my life who try, sometimes I have to be like, no, listen, if you don't want me to act out, or you want me to, like, I need someone to, like, stop what they're doing and listen. And I think the world is going to be a much better place when we allow men to actually be vulnerable.
Facts.
You know what I
No,
mean?
because people carry a lot of weight. But I will say one thing, though, for those looking for a listener, for those looking to be a listener, you also have to have the mental and emotional capacity to deal with what you might hear.
And the emotional intelligence.
Because whenever it is we have a lot of those adult conversations, you know, amongst ourselves and all my people. And I let my people know when it is I can deal with whatever it is that's going on. Because you might unload on me and I project.
Yep.
Because I'm not in a good space.
You don't have the bandwidth.
Exactly, to deal with it. So another thing before you reach out to somebody is, like, make sure you're going to listen. Make sure you're not going to put your own self into their story. Make sure you're not going to judge, because one bad interaction can even draw somebody back worse than where they were.
Correct. And then you think everything is straight because you weren't even focused on whatever they were bringing to you, and then you try to check in a week later.
When the African person like, tell me now, I don't understand.
Like, would you? Because 2 weeks ago when I came to you. The other thing is people don't always realize that, like, when you do decide to go on that journey to, you know, to do the work and go through therapy, when it starts to become successful to the person, you start to realize a lot of people that you used to vibe with, a lot of people you used to connect with, y'all not on the same page anymore.
Facts.
Y'all stop align. Like, the things that y'all used to get along with and the things that used to bring out together are no longer bring out together.
Facts,
and then
bro.
you find it very difficult to make connections with people that you've used to make connections with. It's the most traumatic thing that I've experienced. Like, people that I no longer connect with because, like, okay, cool, you're not vibrating on that same level anymore. You're looking to match people that are vibrating on a higher level because you are healing and doing the work, and they're not doing the work yet. They're not even interested in it. So then you have to, like, build new bonds and form new relationships with people that are actually understanding of the journey you're on. It's tough.
Yeah, man, I can't, like, when I half jokingly say the thing about New York, because in Lagos, with all the problems, there's a little bit of, like, there's a static nature to the relationships there. So there's some consistency. But this city is so big. I can't imagine, like, if you go through a life change, like, where would you meet new friends? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, where would you meet, like, how would you go through the change? I imagine that people are really lonely, like, could get really lonely out here.
It's an American problem.
It's American. The one thing I will say about New York that makes it interesting, though, is it's full of neighborhoods, right? Like, if you want the artsy energy, you know where to go in Brooklyn. If you want black space, you know, in Harlem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing I'll give New York. Like,
and you can meet people really easily.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
if you're tapped in,
Okay.
you just gotta know where to go.
New Yorkers are nice people. We're just not friendly. So at some point, once you make contact with somebody, if you talk to a New Yorker, they'll talk to you. But if you're looking for a New Yorker to start the conversation, it's not happening, because whatever it is we're dealing with is in our heads. But if you're like, hey, quick question or this, that, they'll chop it up with you. Like, most places, you go out to a bar, if you fit the scene and they don't think like you're up to something weird, then they'll chop it up to you. That's what I give to New York, is like, I know I can go here for this energy or this food, or, you know what I mean? Like, Little Italy is there. Like, all the neighborhoods, like, stack up where the vibe is there. Like, even the party parts of town where people do wild drugs.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so weird that you can see in this same Manhattan, like, Harlem gives you really black energy, and you go to the Village and it's
Caucasian.
completely different. It's completely different, and it's not good or bad. It's just, like, completely different.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about being here. It's like, you see the world.
No, really.
Do you feel the same? How do you feel about LA compared to New York, though?
I like LA's energy. Do you know what?
Why?
They're two different energies.
Yes.
I actually enjoy both.
Okay. Why do you enjoy LA? Curious.
I like LA because I feel like LA is one of the closest places I've gotten to where there was no judgment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it felt like people just were like,
Free.
yeah, just do you, you know, be you, and that's cool, you know. And I really enjoyed
hate
that.
the city, but I hear that.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
If you're
that.
creative, it's definitely an easier place to be.
A rich creative.
I like New York.
No, even if even if
It's an
you're
expensive city.
it is, but I mean, but some of the things about LA is if you're a creative and you're a hustler, you can end up on somebody's couch and you'll be fine.
True.
It's just like New York. You know how many broke? Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, please don't get canceled.
How many couch surfers we know?
Financially challenged
people
artists.
that are able to traverse in New York and LA. Like
I wouldn't, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of, aspiring creatives.
Everything,
right?
aspiring everything.
They figure it out. A lot of them aren't working, but they figure it out. They're on somebody's couch figuring it out, you know?
New York has that.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people
If you bout it,
yeah,
let's go. And I like that.
there are people in relationships right now, not because they actually care about each other, but because rent has to be paid. It's a thing.
I'm happy it's going back to that though.
Keep people in check.
Love is keeping people lonely. Let's get some financial
You
agreements
think I have
in
time
there.
for love? What do you think this is?
What did they say? Stick around long enough, some feelings might surface. Like let's
That's
get
hilarious.
that. Let's get back to that.
Got that. See, Bawo got that dog in
Oh
him.
my God! Don't do that.
Bawo
Don't
got
do
that dog in him.
But I would love to talk about the album. Obviously,
Yeah,
the latest
yeah.
and greatest.
When did you start recording it?
Man, also the oldest song there is like 4 years old. That's
Okay.
the one with Duncan Mighty.
Oh, okay.
But
Can we call you one of the Igbo whisperers out there?
I
Because
think
whenever you link with that high life sound or with a Igbo artist, like it'd be special. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's
Yeah,
really a special.
honestly
thing.
something I don't take for granted,
Right.
because their fans really, like, if you make a classic Igbo record, they will like go hard for you.
Forever.
yeah,
I'm sure
it becomes a
African
classic.
rapper #1 probably they still
like,
talk to you about
they
that.
will, like, if I show up in the East, they start speaking Igbo to me.
Isn't that
immediately.
crazy? Like
Yeah.
from the north, lives
Yeah.
in Lagos,
Yeah.
makes great Igbo songs.
For
Run
those
for
that
office,
don't,
bro. The votes are there. The votes are there.
Yo, you got bars.
No,
man.
That's
You got
hilarious.
bars.
I mean,
The
he's
votes
also
are-
trying to protect his interests too. He wants
Oh
people to
my
go to
God.
Nigeria and not be
In
blocked
peace.
by the airport.
Yeah, every time I travel to West Africa, they're like, "Are you going to Nigeria?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "For what?"
God forbid the plane
So they
lands,
beats
the
me.
power goes out. Bawo's missing.
No. I'm
God
not.
forbid
I
that
don't
too.
have nothing to do with Nigeria.
Amen. He's trans Ghanaian, so it's fine. So what cultural group do you represent? For those that don't already know,
So I guess, like, if you don't really know
Politician.
Nigeria, no, if you don't
Politician.
really know Nigeria, you'll say I'm from the north,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you have a little more context, the middle belt
Okay.
is where I'm from, right? And I'm from a tribe called Jukun, the Jukun people.
Okay.
I'm actually, you can go deeper. I'm actually a Chamba kid, but the Chamba were, I think, conquered by the Jukun people.
okay.
So I'm a Jukun guy
gotta do
by
my
acclamation, and from the middle belt. But I grew up in Jos, so I also have a strong Jos connection, and I think a lot of people think of me, and you guys even said so.
Yeah.
You said J Towns.
Yeah, so-
because I
'cause
have that, because I was born and raised. So
Joss, I feel like has a lot of talent. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure if everyone is
yeah.
really discussed.
it's like if you're
how
born in
many
New
artists-
York, right? You say I'm from New York, so
Yeah.
I'm from Jos as well.
But what is it
Your
about?
lineage.
There's so many
There's a
artists
lot of
from Jos. I
talent
mean,
there,
Two
yeah.
Faces from Jos too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How many of your class, right? I feel like there's so many talented creatives from Jos. What do you think that's about? Like, what do you think is so special about Jos that produces such talent?
Yeah, I think sometimes, like, the period where a certain, like, group of kids will be born will just be the perfect like ground for creativity. And I think around the early 80s in Jos was just peaceful. The weather was great. The country was going through some stuff, but there was just enough balance and enough hope, enough missionary kids around, enough, like, that a lot of kids grew up there with, like, sort of like a worldview, that was global, and watched, like, Sesame Street, like all these things where maybe
perfect
the average kid in Nigeria didn't have that same experience.
Yeah.
And so there's just, as you said, there's so much creativity. Like in TV, in film, there's so many people that would tell you that, either they went to school in Jos and that it sparked, creativity in them.
Yeah, because I think a good amount of great lyricists are from that area.
They have the lexicon to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is the
Amazing
creative
lyricists.
space like? Is it like is nightlife popping, or is it just a school?
Not really. It's a very small town, a very small city. It's it has like one cinema.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Really?
yeah, it's like one cinema in it.
I've never been, but the way they talk about Jos, they make it sound like it's New Orleans.
No,
Yeah.
I need to. I've
love
always
to go.
wanted
It's
to
beautiful.
because I've met
fresh food,
all the dope individuals from. I've
like,
met most of them.
very cool. The weather is like autumn all the time, like perfect autumn days all the time.
Next time we go to Nigeria, we got to go
Yeah.
to Jos.
And
You go
we're
to
doing a
Nigeria?
festival in Jos for New Year's.
I don't have
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, we're doing a
See?
music festival in
So,
Jos.
okay, that's
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I'll be there. I don't know if he is
Yeah.
going to trade his...
I mean, you joke, but
No.
we here to, you know.
No,
So
I
it's like-
have hella respect for Just.
Yeah.
It's just the energy. Like, we'll talk about it. It's
Yeah,
just,
I would love to host you guys out.
No,
in
I
Jos.
would
We're trying to
happily go
build
to
like
Jos.
riding camp
Say less.
facilities out there.
Say less. We'll
you
be
know.
there.
Yeah.
I can't. I keep forgetting his name. This artist.
Ooh,
that's
Ice Prince?
Mike. No, not from the. It's a younger artist. Like all the OGs. Damn, Marley something Marley.
Young L.
Young
Mr.
L.
Marley, yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Jos too?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Jos
Oh,
as well. That's
wow.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's so many, and he came to New York. We chopped it up. He's a dope individual.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But I met him through Carly.
Yeah.
So, but it's like every other. I'm talking about lyricists where it's like good storytelling, and you know, again, you involved in music.
Yeah.
A good amount of them are from Jos. Like I think it's really dope.
So in Jos, what are some of the other cultural groups that are represented in Jos? I mean, I know Dama's there.
Yeah, no, so Idoma is from Benue actually.
Okay.
In Jos you have and it's interesting you say that because it's the same region. So that's how
middle
one
belt?
people, the middle belt. So I would say it's a better way to think about. If you don't know too much about Nigeria, it's a better way to think about it because people just think about the north. But if you
east,
think
west.
about the middle belt, you're thinking about Idoma, Tiv, Chukun, Birom. Now I'm mixing from different states, but the Birom people are I think the predominant group in Jos. There's Langtang, there's Mangu, Pangshin, where Ice Prince is from. There's a lot of tribes in Jos.
I've never even heard of some of them.
No, this is. And what language is that?
You know,
Is it
there's
all-
like 400 tribes.
Oh
in it.
yeah.
No, yeah, yeah,
That
but
I
I
know,
just-
but the thing is, I don't know all the
We don't know
400.
the names. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you think about like Yorubas spread out, even though they're different, like
Ishekiri as well.
Dialects.
Ishekiri
different
comes
dialects,
from-
but they spread out over a lot of states.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, there are some states that have a crazy number
Yeah.
just to make that balance out
That makes
because we only have 36 states. So some states have 50 different tribes that speak completely different languages.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
So,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's why Pigeon always like thrives in certain spaces because it's like,
It's just like that one universal.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like even Worry, like that's why there's always a new slang coming out of Worry because the amount of tribes in one
Yeah.
space trying to figure each other out. So it's like Pigeon is gonna thrive there.
Are you on Eriga's music?
Yes, because of Vino.
Yeah.
Vino talks about Eriga a lot, and so I caught on recently.
Lord Vino?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Oh wow.
That's
Shout
the
out to Vino.
connection. That's the connection.
Shout out to Vino. He
So-
smashed that record, the
Vino's
Soft Life Tony.
I think one of the first interviews for Vino, I gave Vino when
That's crazy.
when he was here.
We need to tell Vino to take music. You know, he's living a soft life.
I
and
don't.
just,
I
take
get
music
tired.
serious,
Vino be
Vino.
like, music is coming, and then he's at a construction site.
Yeah, it
So
looks
I
like
don't-
he's like doing a big project.
So you don't even know
Then you
how
go play
excited.
golf.
You don't know how excited I was when Soft Like Tony comes and I see featuring Vino. I'm like, bruh, like, because it goes. I'm not sure how long it's been,
Yeah.
but it's when he was in Texas going to school. Was he dropped the 234 mixtape, and this is when we were doing online radio where you could call in and all that
Yeah.
years ago. So and he was I think it was like episode 2 or 3, and we had Vino on there, and of course he came late because he was studying. But we were able to play the whole EP and get his feedback on it, so it was really dope. So it's like he's been saying soft for years, and I'm like,
Yo,
this is amazing that
Yeah.
two of my favorite artists get together and put something that's authentic to what they speak on. So
Yeah.
it's dope.
Amazing segue.
Go ahead.
Talk to us about soft life. What is this? You know why I asked that? There's so many non-Nigerians, non-Africans that have caught on to the phenomena and have reinvented
what it
their
is.
own definition of what
This
they
is
think
why I
it is.
never say Africa to the world, but
Boom.
yeah.
we Africa to the world, and then it was basically
The world gonna do its thing,
colonized, and
yeah.
they tried to tell us what it is. So, as someone that has been there from the inception of the popularization of that word on the continent, can you tell us what is the soft life?
So the first thing is that is there are two different perspectives of soft life. There's the Instagram soft life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Instagram soft life.
Mm-hmm.
and then there is what I'm going to say clubhouse soft life.
Okay.
And if people like maybe people that were in these two spaces will understand what I mean. So the clubhouse soft life is like deliberate. It's like intent to live fully, purposefully, leaning into rest, leaning into wellness, leaning into mental health, leaning into self-care, and it's beautiful. And you like, for instance, Chika, my friend Chika.
Shout out to Chika Wazi.
Yes. She's spoken extensively about self-life and what she means. And it's not always about like taking trips. Sometimes self-life is about
It's been minimized to that.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted you to expand.
That's Instagram self-life.
Correct.
Now, Instagram self-life.
The colonized definition.
is I'm not going to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to enjoy all the benefits of life, and I deserve it as well. I deserve it.
Entitlement.
It's owed to me.
The entitlement part.
I'm not mad at anyone not wanting to work.
Yeah, but the entitlement part is what makes it kind of stray away from the original definition.
It's the packaging, right? It's all not packaging. So it's like, I'm not mad at it because it's like, who the hell, like when someone says, what's your dream job? Like, why am I dreaming about working? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not mad at the soft life, because this is my thing with all Africa to the world thing. We know what happens when something crosses water. Like, it loses something.
It got gentrified. The soft life got gentrified.
There's no way you're going to carry something above water, above multiple time zones, and it's going to be the same thing.
The soft life went from Lagos to Williamsburg, and we have not seen
We're never getting it
since.
back. We're never getting back. And I'm not mad, though.
But the danger is, if you think about anything that you rely on in your life, it needs to work.
What, soft life or
no? Like if you go to the hospital,
okay,
you want the people at the hospital to be about their job, right? So they have to work.
The system has to function.
I hear you.
Right, but that person, imagine if that person was like, "I'm about self life," and their own version of self life was Instagram self life. So they were at the hospital like, "Why are you guys stressing me?
You a patient?
Why are you like, oh man,
you need a clipboard?
I just need a man. I'm not about this life,
you
man.
sitting for 30 minutes,
now you bleeding.
Do you know what I mean? Now you're bleeding. You know what I mean? So that's the challenge. The challenge is that what I think what people are afraid of is that it becomes part of culture that you should take the easy way.
No, I
think that's the pushback, because you should even some of my most wealthy friends, the friends I know that have like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh my God, why are we doing that?
the friends at that level, they're workaholics, and they need soft life as well. Like take
Otherwise
it easy.
They'll burn themselves out.
You go get a massage, go do pedicure, all that. But there's like a whole class of people that are like, no, I'm not gonna, I just want someone to take care of me. I want to,
No, so where's that? So we're talking about a happy medium, right? Because there are also people that overdo it, that work constantly, that overthink, don't get sleep, don't get family time. Even family time should be considered soft life, where it's like you've worked X amount of days and now you're turning things out and relaxing. So that happy medium, I think, is where we're all looking for.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of the word.
He's such a pure guy.
Oh God.
See, that's the brand.
Oh God.
See?
No,
I'm the brand.
The diplomat. This is the diplomat.
Wow.
This is the diplomat.
He's good at it. Then.
Cam
Because
almost signed me.
He's always like,
Cam almost
just like
signed me.
family time.
I'm a family guy. I'm telling you, I got plants at home.
But let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
What I know a lot of single amazing Nigerian women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love that for you.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah, bless their hearts.
Amen.
How come? And they're all like, we're the single. Like, there's no single guys.
I love how
we're enjoying peace.
MI's on the other side of the fence now, so he's
No.
No. I know that.
That's MI's way of saying, this babe has asked me about you. Why are you not checking for them?
No, but it's a real question.
Answer his question,
I have no
Because how
answers.
are you guys still single out here?
How are we single?
You know what it is? Let me.
We've taken therapy. Collect.
The way I will answer that question is, I have enjoyed very substantial and intentional relationships in my life. Most of them have been very discreet because of family, what we do, etc. Like, I've just never really been a loud person about the women that are in my life. I've never been against dating Nigerian. I've dated Nigerian women. He's dated Nigerian women.
Is it strictly Nigerian women, or we just talking about single women?
Yeah, no, I projected Nigeria onto that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I know because Nigeria, I think like when Nigerians meet and marry, I think it's always beautiful. And I know that. Amazing. So I'm just like, man, like how come you two young men, like I'm listening to you talk about like family and all. I'm like, oh, this guy, like, how come he's single?
Bawo's turn.
Oh, see. Now this is the thing. I am never single, right? So it's always someone I'm talking to or serious about, but it has to make sense for the long. I'm a big family person, right? So it's like when I date, in my mindset, we're like practically engaged, right? Like whatever it is that your day needs to be good or great is my problem. Like I legit take on that task. I'm using the word task because I think MI is going to create an app next. But
hey,
I was waiting for you to catch that. I was waiting for you to catch that.
And you're not wrong.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to catch that.
You're not wrong.
I was waiting for you to catch that.
But you guys are out here.
Soft.
We do our research.
You guys content.
We do our research. We do our research, my brother. But I think it's fine. I don't. As a hustler, as a creative, I don't like settling. Yeah. Right?
There it is.
And I tell since I was a kid, I've always told God, if I don't make it.
Too many options. I'm listening to you guys.
No, it's not. No, I'm coughing.
In my heart, I'm like,
listen,
I know the real answer.
My babe right now is I'm coughing. My babe right now is a big MI fan.
Oh, wow. Keeper.
Yeah,
She's a keeper.
Talk to him about this song.
She's a keeper.
So I'm rarely ever single. Yeah. Rarely ever single because I legit want to build a family and I want to get into that. I want to have kids. You know, I want new challenges.
The funny thing is, like Bawo, I'm also rarely ever single. But the difference is Bawo has been, let me not say always, Bawo has been the more mature one when it comes to relationships because he's always been more intentional. I was also slightly older than me, so he's had a lot more time to pick better partners.
I have great discernment. Like I've yet to make a bad decision with people. Like I don't have a friend I no longer talk to in the last 15 years. I don't have a partner that I don't have a healthy relationship with my exes. You know what I mean? So my discerning spirit, like I live with it.
Mine's been hit or miss, but lately it's been really good.
I ain't having you know that. Like he knows all my
we're both Virgos, so we both like he knows like just being like my friend, my brother, he knows my weaknesses and my strengths. I know his weaknesses and his strengths. Bawo's the nicest guy, but don't ever cross Bawo, right? And I can be a little more emotional, but it's because I wear my heart on my sleeve sometimes and I actually have to control my
I mean, people like I feel like, I mean, I don't know you so well, but I feel like there's a certain type. Oh,
you're good. See, I already finished it. We knew.
I was talking with Tunde Adnan and Debanj.
Okay.
I was chatting with them and I was like, there's a certain type of person that always takes risks and they get hit by the world a lot. You know, sometimes irreparably. Sometimes they'll make a mistake and people won't forgive them. But by nature, they're the type of person that just tries new things.
Of course.
And that is good to see those people win as well because, you know, it can be tough. You know, it's a very courageous thing to attempt something new or to be the first person to speak up or to, you know. So I get a sense about you with, you know, with that. Well, but I also feel like you guys have a lot of options as well.
I'm not going to say we don't.
No, options are great. Options are great. We're thankful for options.
We're very grateful for options.
I think you work towards certain things and the options come with it, right?
Correct. The problem is discerning through the options. And even if you go in a direction that may not be for you, knowing when to reel it in. Because that's been a challenge. I mean, meeting beautiful, wonderful, family-oriented women has never been an issue for...
Speak for yourself, please.
The likes of... Speak for yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful, but at the same time, that discernment also comes at a cost, right? Because you may really have a connection with someone and then realize, oh, well, like, I don't see this going past this level. Yeah. And I need someone that's going to be with me at this level.
So when do you find out it doesn't go past this level? Is it before or after the close or off?
And we will be back after the commercial break.
Is that a post-nut clarity? No, it's
hilarious. No, I mean, hey, women.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah. Women are great. Like I love the women I'm dating right now.
He's trying to get us away from album talk.
Oh,
I know what he's doing. He's a lyricist.
The guy is trying to get us away from the product.
Yeah. So,
do you have a record with the boy?
I don't.
The guy and the boy.
I would. You know.
He's not answering the question.
No. After my album came out, I set a goal. I set a goal. I was like, I'm going to get a J verse.
Mm-hmm.
It's an insane goal. I know. It's an insane goal.
It's not insane. Of someone of your lyrical caliber, I don't think it's that insane.
You got my
so
you
I'm
got
like,
my
I'm going to
goat
set
on
it
there.
as, I know that Jay maybe has 20 more verses, right? But I'm like, I want
I
one,
think if more
and a
people
Drake
talk,
verse as well.
I think if
These
more
are two
people
people I'm
complain
huge fan.
about him on Twitter, the verses will come.
I think
Because give him subject matter, he's gonna rap about. And that's why when you said this album was very easy for you to write because you just spoke about what's going on. I think that's very similar to Jay's situation. That's why I was gonna bring that up to you, where it's like where you feel like you've done your part in bringing the culture where it's at. Now it's just storytelling time. And
he can also afford both verses. Let's keep it a stack.
Right. Oh, come on.
Yeah, he can afford both verses.
Come on.
Guys.
He's still spending money from
He's still spending
money
I don't
from
think there's a
91.
price.
He's still spending money from 91.
I don't think there's a price that you can pay.
That's the name of the episode.
For Jay's
Spending money
verse.
since 91.
You can't be, is priceless.
No,
I was spending money.
Charge for verses
And I was spending Naira when they start 50 Naira banknotes. That's why MI was spending money.
You guys don't.
Money from 91.
Don't spoil my good name. Okay.
But so talking about legends, how was, because Nas is my GOAT, right?
Oh man.
Mr. Oludara himself. How was getting, like, what led to it, and where were you when you got the yes, it's happening?
So we tried to do it in 2015.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
You're MI,
2014.
I know you have certain tasks you want to.
Yeah. And we'd actually gotten a verse back then.
Okay.
And it was an amazing song with Yosundor on the hook.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was an extreme fan of
Yo, it was
that's
beautiful
mad.
record called Man. And
it's called what?
Man.
Man. Okay. Oh.
And yeah. And
because I know you have a song.
Yeah. And we didn't get back the stems.
Oh wow.
So,
but you have a version. You have the song, but not the stems.
yes, not the stems.
So basically, you're
we
going to
had the
give
verse
us the song
on the, but
so
not
we
the
can
stems.
play it.
And
That was
trying
the
to put me in
richest.
trouble.
That was the
Trying to
richest
put me in
laugh
trouble.
I've heard.
That was a
That's the
Dangote
richest
laugh.
laugh I've heard in a long time.
That laugh was sponsored by
I
feel
Dangote
like-
Cement.
That
put me in
laugh
trouble.
is gonna have my taxes audited. Like you were hanging out with who? The ha man. My taxes is getting audited next year. They need to see all my transactions after that laugh.
No,
That's hilarious.
no.
That was a
Plaid
rich
was
ass-
like, we do not have a connection anymore.
So
That
Please
laugh-
re-sign in.
That laugh was gonna break the MI contract and start the guy.
Literally.
That was the laugh.
Literally. The license is over.
yeah, man.
Hilarious. That laugh can get you stopped at global entry.
When lawyers called me, man, I'm like, okay, it was just a joke.
Right, MI.
Yeah,
is
MI
still-
Abaga. Yeah, still. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, so I was recording. I have this project called Rendezvous, and the idea for Rendezvous is it's like a playlist. It's an evening in Lagos. It starts at a certain time, it flows till another time, and it just has like OAPs, like what you'll hear in Lagos. And so I was doing the second one. I had World on it, Ladipo, Bloody Civilian, like all these dope artists. And then one day, Audu calls me and is like, "Yo, the Nas verse is coming."
You know, shout out Audu, by the
Shout
way.
out.
And I'm
Audu.
like, "Oh wow, this is 4 years later." And yeah, it comes in. And I was talking with my friend Luce, and Luce was like, "You know, this verse doesn't fit on this project. I think you need to make a project around this verse." And I understood what he meant, that for the verse to sit, because my opinion about maybe how this verse was recorded is that Nas will have some time in the studio, we'll go in and we'll knock out a bunch of verses, you know. And still, this is one of like maybe 100 verses we're gonna hear from him, you know, before he retires, right? So super special. But now I was like, how do we, and so in some way it contributed to what the Guy album became. And I think it's just a special moment, especially because Olamide then comes,
of course,
you know, and then just, I think, just knocks it out of the park. Like,
another very
talented,
important visionary in the Nigerian music space.
like, you know,
him settling into that visionary role is just beautiful to watch.
It's great. We always wondered a few years ago who the person was going to be, who that or those people would be from the space, and it's good to see the people that have kind of come out of that. I mean, even you guys.
I was about to
Bones,
say, How is that? Because we'll come back to the album, but you have such varying personalities on your camp. How does that work as the OG? Obviously, you've settled. Not like you're still active, but I know you're very comfortable with being a mentor to a lot of people and guiding people through rap in Nigeria, which is not easy.
So I'm gonna like take this moment to like connect a few things that we
because I was gonna ask you about Jesse Jaggs and a few other things, but now I'm gonna let you do what you do.
So I'm sure when you ask the question, you're asking in the context of Chocolate City, you know, and I was CEO of Chocolate City up until when we signed a deal with Warner.
Yes.
Which has gone on to lead to CK having the amazing project he did, Black Bones, Young John, you know, a bunch of young artists that are doing amazing now. My former manager, Abuchi, is now the CEO, and they're doing really well. I've stepped away from management, and sort of I'm going in my own direction now with incredible music and Tasck, which is the reason I'm making the connection. And what I'm trying to do now with Tasck is take the Nigerian space and create opportunities for young creatives so that they can get the experience they need before they go out. Because this is a big gap in our country where young artists have to literally like survive like terrible situations before they can make it. And I feel like we can build festivals, we can build platforms, we can build studios, we can build safe spaces across the country. So this is in big picture, very big picture, what Tasck is going to do. We're already doing that. We have like 6 block parties. We have 2 festivals between now and the end of the year. We do a hip hop event every year, every month. And we're doing like a lot of projects, really safe spaces where girls can come and feel safe. They can collaborate. They can meet older creatives. They can get the skills.
All under Tasck?
All under Tasck.
Very cool.
Yes. And so we invest in like different.
Is it mostly hip hop or are we saying sounds?
No.
Okay.
Everything.
Gotcha.
You know,
That's
we're doing block parties. We're doing.
What are some of the parties that you've?
So we did the first one called the hip hop event. Is every last Tuesday of every month at CCX in Lagos.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna do the second one. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping Vector will be able to come perform.
It's amazing.
And then we have block parties. We did one in Enugu. Second one is in Lagos in end of September. These are around like young creatives that are going to come and use their platform to get people to go collect their PVCs, which is part of the election.
Nice.
Very, very
nice.
So this is sort of the work we're doing, because while I can go and like I signed CK, I signed Black Bones, I signed Ice Prince, I signed Coker, Dice, all these guys, right? But while I can do that, I can also see that there's a bigger play, which is where tech comes in as well, where hopefully we can create some sort of platform that every creative in Nigeria can connect to and just, you know, find opportunities, connect with other creatives around.
It's very important. I think it's very important because it's like, I think entertainment is like Nigeria's biggest export right now.
It is.
Right?
If you're looking for investors.
It's like this is your rich friend is right here. Talk to us.
Let's go.
I'll let the rich people talk.
Let's go.
I gotta learn from his laugh too. My laugh is trash.
That should be a workshop. That's right, bro. That's right, bro. That's an IOU laugh. That's negotiation laugh. Like last price, is this last price? That's exactly. Nah, but I think it's dope because that's Nigeria's biggest export is entertainment. So it'd be like finding out Nigeria's oil and teaching engineers
and cement, but
right, and teaching engineers, because now it's like we can work on that thing. So creatives are the engineers for the entertainment, whether it be in music, because film has been holding it down for 2 decades.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, for Africans here, it was Nigerian films that was holding it down. So, like, every African accent comes from the visuals they get from these movies, because there was no other interaction like that. So the film did what it did for every amount of years it did, and now music is where it's at. And we have tech coming up, you know, so it's like the creatives.
I mean, if you're a young filmmaker in Zaria or in Warri or in, you know, Oshun, or like, what do you do? Where do you go? You have to like get on a bus and go to Lagos, live on the floor, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if you don't have a rich
but we have the
family
resources
member
now in Nigeria. We have the spaces, we have the budgets in our, you know, that someone just needs to organize it and be like, look, there's going to be film camps in 12 zones in the country, you know, and Kemi Adetiba is going to give, you know, get paid, you know, to go and spend time, you know, give 20% of her time. Like, it's not infinitely difficult to do. It's going to take a lot of work, but this is what Tasck is.
And please,
you know,
please have lawyers there. Because I'm tired of the first wave of contracts that they get that leads to this wahala that they try to buy out of.
Understanding their contracts.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Like every time I meet an entertainment lawyer, they're just like, we try to convince these people to listen to us, to, you know, but it's the importance of the legal team.
Yeah.
And,
you know, creatives are emotional.
Our vibes.
And so early on, people can take advantage of that because you're doing things based on like family and like, you know, we're riding together. And before, you know, I was watching Sahai the Prince just, you know, like on YouTube on the way here. And I don't know, I mean, maybe the video is a little bit dated, maybe a couple months now, but he was just talking about his time at like, you know, some of the splits he was, you know, getting and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, it's a universal problem, but it's your friends. Like you and Kanye come up together. You're in a writing camp. Like, this is your boy. Like, are you gonna like be like?
Sci has shared these things. Sean has shared these things.
You know, are you gonna be like, hey, by the way, we're doing the song, but here's my lawyer. Like, and you know,
like, thank you for the opportunity. And then figure it out later. But they don't always figure it out.
The figure it out later is where the issue comes in. It's so sad.
I've been there too. I was, you know, being a ghost producer. You see these things as well. Where you get work for hire.
Yeah.
You know, you see it.
Back to Tasck, but I believe in Africa we can create platforms that will have this already sorted out. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're a young songwriter and you come and you're part of a writing camp, it's already in the infrastructure that you're taken care of. That you're gonna get your shares. You know, you don't have to like fight. It doesn't have to personally like I have my lawyer. Like, you can easily find a smart contract and, you know, so.
Also, it's Web3 and it's integrated with the metaverse.
I mean, like, of course, Nigeria is a little bit behind in terms of our expectation of getting into Web3, but you see, like, Nigeria is one of the early adopters of crypto, and so whatever ways. So yes, the answer is yes. We do want to integrate fully on Web3 as well.
That's very cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, more grease to your elbow, as our people say.
Yes, so
more grease to your elbow.
We're gonna like continue the timeline because we were speaking about Jos. So you leave Jos for school and end up in Michigan, right? What was that time like? Because obviously now the music scene, I'm sure, helps you fall in love with rap, and now you're in America. What was that like?
Man, you know,
music, or were you just straight books trying to get out of there?
I was the opposite of straight books.
The family's watching. Say yes.
So what brought you to Michigan?
They know. No, I came for college. I came for college. Small college in Grand Rapids called Calvin College.
Okay.
And
Mans was in competition.
Yeah, I came for I should have just gone into a music program, into an arts program. But you know, where in Nigeria is like science, arts,
doctor,
and then
lawyer.
I went exactly
the LEDs, lawyer, engineer, doctor.
Yeah, I came out to be an engineer or something like that, and then
something like that.
Yeah,
these people spend money.
I'm telling you,
or something like that. No, you have to answer for your sins.
Books. I want to do music.
Something like that.
I'm telling you, but I now like. Do you guys remember, like, in those magazines, like The Source, whatever, they would have like those 12 for 1 CDs?
What are those? You talking about what's called Music Choice? No, I know what you mean. They used to, you
It'd be
literally
like buy
Broadway,
one,
whatever.
buy one CD, get 12 free.
Bro, I remember those things. I don't
Yeah.
remember what's the name of the company. They would literally advertise on TV. You'd send
I can't
one
remember.
thing,
but I
and they
know
would
what you're
start
talking
charging your
about.
credit card
Yeah.
anyhow.
Yeah, bro. I had stacks of CDs.
Something house.
Yeah.
It's gonna come to you.
It's
I'm
gonna come
sure
to me.
before.
Continue the story.
Yeah, but it was just an education in music.
Right.
And I think I got
Columbia House?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but that's not far though. That's not far. That's not far.
Do your digging.
That's not far. Something like that. And man, I just listened to music the whole time. And by the time I went back home to Nigeria, I had libraries of music in my head, like all early Talib, all like that whole Reflection Eternal, 98 DMX, Jay-Z, like that whole era, early Eminem, just I think the best period of music, early Kanye, early 50. So I got in like Biggie and Pac up until like, this is my music education, up until like DMX, all these guys, up until like
the
mid
late
2000s.
90s, early 2000s. Okay, mid 2000s.
And then I get the opportunity to now like pour it back out, into the world. By the time I'm now back in Nigeria, did you find it?
It was called Columbia House.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's owned by Sony Music still. It started off as the Columbia Record Club, and then they started distributing CDs in like the late 80s, early 90s. The commercials you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then when DVDs and Blu-ray and Laserdiscs started coming out, they switched the format and stopped just the music stuff and started promoting the DVD portion. Still exists.
As the
We
people
just
that
don't see the
collected your
commercials
money.
anymore. Yeah. We got all of us.
We're educating you guys at the same time as entertaining you guys. Like,
These things used to be things
should be a
before
subscription.
streaming.
You see what I'm saying?
was a music
and
club.
it's free.
and there should be a subscription.
It was free.
Your podcast should be a subscription. You gotta give
See?
these guys great content.
Wow, look at
jokes,
that stamp.
guests.
That sounds
Look
like
at that
another
stamp.
task for us to look into.
Hey,
Oh.
this guy.
I'm here all day, folks.
This guy.
I'm here all day, folks.
No, but that's so now you go back to Nigeria, Joss, and you're the guy from America.
The guy, I see what he did there. It's,
Man,
I saw it.
I got a job. I was working
Yeah?
I was working at an internet cafe.
You had a job? What are those?
You ain't doing soft life.
No,
Wow.
I straight. I went, like you live in America, you know that Monday to Saturday, people are going. So as soon as I went in, I was like, okay, I had some challenges with coming back. I was like, I'm just going to get a job. Got a job, started working, making myself useful. This is like maybe like 3 weeks after I got home.
Really?
And then started taking whatever the bread was. It was like maybe like I was earning like maybe like $20, $30 a month, the equivalent of, but I just took it, and there's a studio behind us where
wow.
P Square, who were blowing up around this time, used to record as well.
Oh wow.
That's
So
amazing.
we just went there, started recording with a guy called E. Kelly. E. Kelly's the head of head of A&R for Empower.
Yeah.
The head of music for
He also
Empower.
produces for Easy.
for Easy. Great
Pour
producer.
me water.
Yeah, great producer. And E. Kelly was our first producer, and then
Wow.
Jags. Yeah,
When you say our,
yeah, we had a small thing called Loopy back in Jos.
yeah.
But it was early, like we just made gospel music, and then after a while, I was like, we need to go into the world.
You know how many?
So you were the one
really
that led the
talented,
good men astray?
Yes,
That's hilarious.
I
You know how
was.
many really dope Nigerian artists
Started in
started as in the church?
Well, where else are you going to be, right? Like, it's a very religious country.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
Facts. That's the only place you could really
get access to
interface. If you were
instruments.
born in like a religious family, you're not going to get music anywhere else, because the alternative is go to like a club.
Who is the pastor's son? I'm sorry, who's the pastor's son?
No, my dad's a pastor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to
Son
remember
of
if
the
you or Khalid.
evangelist.
I was trying to remember
Your
if it was you or
dad's a
Khalid,
pastor?
but
Yeah.
it's you. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes. I'm like,
In Jos still?
it's a fun fact
Well,
in my
they
head
live in
somewhere.
Abuja now.
Oh, very
They live
cool.
in Abuja now. Yeah. I grew up, man, in the church, man.
That's what I'm saying, for you to lead the mandem astray.
Nah, we got to hear the church bars.
Yeah, but like,
Loopy
yeah,
the
the
church
my life.
bars.
I feel my life. It's on my first album. I always used to do,
have
something.
one.
Yeah.
And now
lit.
it's soft life. You know what I mean?
When you have Jesus, your
life is soft.
It's soft. Talk about
It's
it.
very soft.
That's it. That's the life he promised. Eternal life is soft life.
When you believe in the guy.
When you
The guy,
believe
the guy,
the guy, you have everlasting soft life.
You know, I called myself chairman on my third album.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that phase till the day I was signing my Glow ambassadorship. And I walk in and it's all these chairmen. And they're all like, chairman. And my heart stopped. I was like, yo, it's just a title from an album. It's just the name of a song, guys, please.
That's hilarious.
Every time he gets a new name, something brings him back to MI.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's wild.
There may be an idea there. Maybe you may have to record the next project in Michigan. I don't know.
The MI project.
Maybe find Eminem, Big Sean, a few of those.
That would be hard. That would be hard. I want to work with Royce the 5'9", by the way.
Oh, wow.
I have someone that
that's amazing.
Mutual friends. So we'll see. We'll see if it
How long are you in America for? Let's see if it's happening this year.
I got a quick turnaround, man. I came for the headies.
I'm married, man. He can't be
far
away from home.
I have to go get married, actually.
Man said it like it's the next thing up.
It's the next
married.
Get married.
It's the next
Come
task.
back and record. You know, be the guy. Like the calendar's booked.
Yeah, 10 more days, man. I have 10 more days
How
of
do you
being single.
feel? Like, are you excited? Is everything set? Suit,
I am
starched,
excited.
all that. The groomsman ready. Like, what goes on?
Almost
do we have enough?
Almost nothing is ready.
Do we have enough change for to spray? Is there who's holding the change? I mean, we have to. What's the checklist like? Oh, you're just showing up.
I want to do. I want to do the Davido thing.
What?
I want to be like, I hit up all my friends and be like, I'm getting married today.
Yes, so
this is my account number. This is my account number. So I'm thinking about if I have enough.
No, stop playing.
But
pick up your phone right now.
Everybody, half of Josh should send bread.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
reply like it. Send me money.
Yes, sir.
And then at the end, we put it towards Tasck and get the next generation set.
That's the only difference. That's
wow, you're being a Nigerian politician.
That's gonna be the different part.
The money going elsewhere.
I like
Bless
that new
me and my
task you
family.
just
The money
created.
going elsewhere.
I like
told
the
you
new
he could do
task you just
politics.
created.
You like the new
Tasck.
task?
I love it.
For Tasck.
I love it.
All right.
Hopefully, it will be completed because right now it is in progress.
Look at that. The Tasck references.
There it is.
That
a
man
task bar.
There it is. Taskbar. Wow. From Mac to Windows.
That was good. I won't lie. I thought you would drop the ball there, but you
No. I didn't cancel the task. It's fine.
You know what borough the Taskmaster is from, right?
Where? The Bronx.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. I don't know if you're into Marvel, but yes, Taskmaster is from the Bronx. And the recording guy is from the Bronx. So the X is out here. Yeah. No, but all right, so back to it. Let's get back to it.
Let's stay on task.
Let's stay. Oh,
Thank you.
Nice. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So now rap in Nigeria is, for some reason, feels like this thing that people want to talk about and the people living it don't want to talk about it, but the people outside of rap want to talk about rap in Nigeria more than the people that enjoy rap just enjoy rap in Nigeria and ride hard for their favorite rappers and all that. And then people that don't like rap are like, you guys are mad at what, it's just so weird. But rap's history in Nigeria is very important. Like we get into Idris's role in where we are with things now. Right?
Junior
Obviously,
and Pretty, Idris, Rugged Man.
we go all that's what obviously we were influenced.
Ice
Kenny
Prince.
Big Deal.
You think people forget as Afrobeat expanded, there have been true ambassadors that were at the front line.
Yeah.
People forget that Ice Prince was at the front line for a period.
Mans was the first one in Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
We were all hyped.
Was the first record that was truly continental.
Bro.
Yeah, that was one of the first records that I heard of our ASA.
And I think I met Ice during that time. One of the most pleasant people to meet. I don't know
he's so
if you
nice.
guys have met Ice, because he came and did what was that called? Nigerian Reunion. He came and did one of those with Nigerian Reunion. He was with Audu.
And Nato C with Kenny Big Deal.
Oh man.
Way back then as well.
And he got the feature with Wale.
Yeah, it was huge in South Africa. It was the first time all these moments, like we can celebrate like Wiz and Ojo Legba, but in all these milestones, rap has been.
No, it was.
They were all
Wiz,
markers for sure.
Wiz is that weird little thing that leads to like I know everyone has
the
their
pop
thing.
side, yes.
Yeah, Wiz
the
starts that whole
YC
pop sound.
YC.
YC had it.
Yes,
you know?
YC.
Yeah.
Yes, as the and
With
obviously
Juice was definitely a moment.
Yeah.
Was it Amalaji? What was that song?
Yeah, juice,
Too much juice, too much
No,
sauce.
there was one right before that.
No more allergy, something.
Yeah. But there was a song. I can't remember his other song that he had. Cause
Jagaban.
Him and
Jagaban,
Malik had a
I think it was
moment.
Jagaban.
Because Malik had control, YC had juice. It was like there was like that summer where like a bunch of
yeah,
records
yeah.
just
It was
came
them.
out.
It was them that time. They
that
were the
bridge.
ones doing like the festivals.
Yes.
They were the ones like
He did Made in America.
Yeah,
He
literally.
did Made in
So,
America, which was huge.
like hip hop has definitely been in the building, and you're right. It does get criticized a lot.
It's so weird because
Yeah.
it's like there are people just enjoying it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there are people in there that want it to be bigger, which I get, But it just feels like how Afrobeats felt in the beginning. It was like you still listen to that sound, like you should be listening to something else. But I don't know why rap out of Nigeria just feels like that,
Yeah,
and that those who don't listen to it just feel like you should not be listening to it.
yeah. I mean, look, you take away rap. Let me list who you're taking away from the lexicon. You're taking away MI, Ice Prince, Jesse Jaggs,
LD.
Files, LD,
Olamide.
Fino,
Yeah.
Reminisce, Lil Kesh, like
How about some of the women? Weird MC.
Weird MC, Sasha, Eva, Prize,
Alordia.
Eva Lordia.
yeah.
So you don't want to like rappers contributed so much, but this is what I will say: more can be done, and we are like we have an event now called the Hip Hop Event. It's the last Tuesday of every month.
Yes.
I believe
Where?
it's in Lagos in VI. I believe that there's 10,000 at least people that will come out eventually to celebrate hip hop once a month. I believe we have that many fans.
I agree.
I see that happening.
And that's all it needs. Like,
It has to be promoted.
yeah, like Afrobeat is doing the thing that we've all hoped for. We all hope that, Afrobeat is going to open this door to the world and globalization. But as it opens up, hey, there are these dope MCs as well.
No, there's
This
just dope
tangential effort.
genres out of
Exactly.
the continent.
Yeah.
That's the one
Yeah.
thing that's like, which I think it's getting there with Amapiano,
Yeah.
where it's like people listen to other sounds from the continent.
Yeah.
And obviously,
And my piano is so beautiful too, by the way.
oh my
It
God.
is. I mean, it's all about investment. Who's investing in the reason why it's becoming what it's become because there's an investment in all these things.
419 boys, do your part.
Literally, we have all
Do
these
your
people.
part. You guys
all
have
these people
done,
that are hiding money.
You guys have done so much for us already. 419 boys, don't be shy.
Yeah, I've done so much in
I
the
know
pop
people are getting
space.
arrested. I know
God.
sweeps
Do
are
some in the
happening.
rap space.
I know
please.
I was
EFCC.
not here.
No. Yeah, I know EFCC is doing their
MI
part.
was in Michigan. He
And I
wasn't here.
know, and I know,
I
government
was
is
getting
going
a
to change.
drink. I was not.
I know government change is happening, but listen, 419 boys, do your part. Like hip hop here,
419 boys do your part.
No, hip hop here. Who sponsored early hip hop here?
That's
The
hilarious.
drug dealers. It is what it is. Like banks are not gonna sponsor these things. We know that for a fact.
Unnamed beverage. This unnamed beverage that is not sponsoring.
Sure. I guess this is our drink break.
Yeah.
Say 419 boys do your part.
Nah, everybody has their part to
I
play.
dipped instantly.
No. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at you dipping. It's not something you should say.
This water that we're drinking right
I
now.
got in trouble for saying something like that.
Similar? Yeah.
time
Please
ago.
don't. Please don't. But personally,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shout outs to Will.
Shout out to Will.
Mr. W.
Don't hide in the camera.
Mr. Double W.
Thank you.
Look at the feedback. No, but
How does it feel to you guys that are here, especially like
Great question.
playing a role, doing your part in moving the culture forward, standing up, speaking about our culture in these spaces, speaking to these execs, showing up on these budgets, on these P&Ls, making the case. How does it feel to see this thing expanding?
you want to answer first or you want me to answer first?
Bawo, you go first.
obviously, I've been in it over a decade, so it's like I get to watch it progress, you know. But I'm also outside the culture. Like one thing I always tell people, it's like I could give you my feedback, but I'm not on the ground. I'm not in Nigeria. It's like when things happen back home that they want feedback from us, like I don't mind sharing my 2 cents, but I also want you to know I'm an outsider and I respect what people are dealing with back home. You know what I mean? When October 20 happened, it's like a reminder that I can tell people keep going, be strong, but I'm not dealing with what y'all dealing with, and I respect everything you guys are dealing with. You know what I mean? So it's been great though. Like me and my team have been doing what we've been doing for a while. Like my team has worked with you way back. With Black Jesus. Printing out CDs. Pushing the game. You know what I mean? And even when you were headed, you were going to the Headies. I was about to head into the Headies, which is just too much. When you were going to the Headies, TK was excited to see you again because you guys hadn't worked since then. You know what I mean? So, but it's dope to see the budget grow. It's dope to see seats be filled. It's dope to know that MI drops a project that's not just going to Nigerian kids. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are interested in what comes out of Nigeria. You know, and I feel like gatekeeping is happening now, right? Where people are like, you're not African, you're not West African, you don't know, you know, and it comes with the territory. Like even with hip hop, like hip hop gets to a point where it's like, oh, this person is not hip hop, he can't discuss hip hop. We're gonna get there where it's like, this person's not Afrobeats, you're not West African, you're not Nigerian, you're hip hop. You know, we're getting there. It's so weird because when certain things happen, and you see people on the table and they're the people discussing Afrobeats, and I'm like, I've never seen you outside. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been outside, but I've never seen you outside. But I know what it is. Like, we're still cultivating who's involved, the importance, how big this is for us, you know? And that's why I'm not a fan of I tell you, I never liked the whole Africa to the world thing because
we just give it away.
Why are we marketing ourselves?
Just give it away. We don't quantify,
because it's going to be,
we just give it away.
Yeah.
Freely. And then we get mad when somebody set trips that doesn't represent the culture or look like us, and it's like you didn't do anything to protect it. There's no infrastructure around it.
The thing that it hit me with, I think it was a couple months ago, because I'm in the food business, and someone was like, Africans don't have set recipes for their food, and I was like, what? And it hit me like, yo, we argue about jollof. There's no set way to make jollof. Nigerians make it, not even Nigerians, Yoruba people make jollof this way. Igbo people make jollof this way. Stew this way, that way. You know what I mean? French cuisine.
It's specific.
If it ain't this temperature, this amount of salt, if you don't flip it now, if it doesn't puff off like this, if it's not round like this, you're not even, you know what I mean? You can't even post that shit. You can't even talk about it. That's why where you see things get replicated often. Like, oh, I made this jollof, or I made this stew, or I made this rice. You know what I mean? And it's like Nigerian this, and it's, is it from this corner of the world? Is it
spicy
you know
fried rice?
But we never agree on these things. Similar to Afrobeats, like we know the 5-beat pattern, but it's like, it's so loose. It's so loose. Like everything that comes out of the continent, it's not defined, and we're scared to make it our thing. And until we stand on it, that's the one thing that I'm just scared of where it's gonna veer towards. No, that's my own thing. Outside of that, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed seeing young people be millionaires. I've enjoyed seeing someone like Asake now, less than 12 months in our lexicon. You know, he's been around hustling, but less than 12 months, and he has a tour. Before, to get to tour in America, not England, because, you know, England is a lot easier to like navigate. But to go from East Coast to West Coast to South, and you know what I mean? You were in Michigan. You know the energy.
That guy is so fire.
Bro.
Oh my God.
But the talent is there, right? But it's just like to come out the continent and make money was, you had to put 2-3 albums. I remember going to Wizkid concert with Banky, Scales, Rotimi. Like you had to bring everybody to sell that venue that we were in. Like, and now Burner's at MSG. And we're like, oh, he has to bring names out to sell. And Burner was like,
Afropunk.
Burner's like, nah, I'm gonna have you sue in the beginning, and it's all me, and the ticket's gonna sell. And he needed nobody else to sell it. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is dope to see. I've done tours with Wiz way back then. We've seen all this thing go on and how much drama and all this just to get X amount of people on seats. And now it's like, whatever, Headies comes to Atlanta, and obviously their numbers behind their move. So it's like, it's interesting to see. Even you saying the visa situation being easy because of the Headies.
Very easy.
I never saw that coming.
Yeah, very easy. I mean, like it was it was a collaboration almost. Like
it's like that would not happen
really
10 years ago.
Yeah, I want to hear your answer as well. How does it feel to see this moment happen?
You covered a lot of really good points. I think the most recent point you made about you just being happy to see the growth. It went from, oh, I'm just happy to be here, to
of course,
I'm an African giant, right? That's a very important distinction. But at the same time, what I've always, and I've been, we've both been in this game of, over a decade, right? My opinions on things have shifted over time. First, as a creator, obviously, I approached it as, okay, here are all the things that make African culture, African entertainment culture unique, and here are the things that can help bridge it outside of the continent, whether it's in the UK or America, et cetera. That was always how I used to approach it. And then I saw myself in some roles where I was actually able to contribute to the growth and the amplification of the culture. And I started to really see the intricacies and the nuances and the sensitivity that I had to be accustomed to understand how to properly engage with the audience that I was trying to help. Right? When you come in, I think my issue is because I'm an American of Yoruba descent. I know of Nigerian Yoruba culture because I was raised in an environment where I was exposed to everything. I grew up on Sunny Ade, Shina Peters, Obey, Osadebe,
the classics,
Victor Wifo, all of it. I grew up on everything.
Here.
My parents introduced me to all that stuff. I grew up on everything. CAC, church choir, everything.
Wow.
Fela, everything. The problem is, though, when I started to make music myself and I started to meet other creators that made African mainstream popular music, I didn't connect the creativity to their day-to-day lives as Nigerians living in Nigeria or Ghanaians living in Ghana, et cetera. Because I'm in America doing my thing, thinking that everybody is relating to the same types of things. The music that they're creating is relatable to the music that's being created here. It's not. So fast forward years later, we get into into an environment where we're able to contribute to the change, and I'm approaching things with a savior mentality, and it was the wrong way to approach, because I'm thinking, here's how I can help save everyone and do everything and be this person for this artist and you realize you can't save everyone if there's no infrastructure. Not in the entertainment space, right? The most you can do is try to hear what the needs are and try to solve for the needs. Right. And what I was seeing a lot of is there was a lack of organization. There was obviously camps exist, right? People hustling and figuring it out and doing what they do with the resources they have exist. But we can't even agree. And this is me speaking from vantage point back then. We couldn't even agree on what to call the music.
Facts.
Right.
And we didn't even agree.
It
just happened.
We still
the name
did.
was just
got hot. It got hot, and you had to live with it.
Correct. And for those that are not aware of what he's referring to, he's referring to what some people call Afrobeats, some people call Afro pop, whatever you want to call it.
Fusion.
Popular music in West Africa, right? Nobody could decide on what to call it, and that you couldn't agree on that, which made it difficult to do anything else. You couldn't agree on how to approach it with organizations like the Grammys. How to approach it with organizations like Billboard, how to approach it with DSPs like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Tidal, Amazon, Audiomack, Vivo, etc. Right? Because of that, it made it very difficult for the people that were passionate to help, because you had to have multiple conversations. You couldn't just have a conversation as a creative. You had to have a conversation as someone that had to be sensitive to the fact that nobody even really cared for the infrastructure. They just wanted to put music out because they were trying to eat,
trying to get out, trying to
get hot.
So from the Niger side, nobody's even.
They don't care. They didn't care. Let me speak.
They're just trying to. They're just trying to
help me get on. I want to be on this playlist. I just want to be lit, right? So the infrastructure was less important. The infrastructure took a back seat. The legacy, the things that build legacies took a back seat. It became, how can I be hot now? How can I be the flashiest now? Versus how can I leave a legacy? How can I be remembered in 20 years like Premier Gaou is now, right?
There's a deep point you're making.
That's the issue.
It's a deep point because I think it's still happening.
It's still happening, but here's when I started saying, hey, these are things that we should look out for, people started to say, oh, Tunde, focus on the wrong thing. Let's just focus on what's important.
Let's get money.
Let's just help just playlist these guys, do what you do. And I was like, oh, so y'all actually don't care. And we're seeing the fruits of that now because guess what? There's a lot of people that don't look like us that are not a part of our culture that have had so much say and control over what this thing is. People like me have kind of taken the back seat just to see what happens. You're right? And there's a lot of people that don't look like us that are actually controlling the industry right now.
Are you, without implicating you too much?
Yeah. I don't work for some of these places anymore, so I don't care.
Are you concerned?
I've been concerned before it happened, which is why I addressed it. But we have a saying in Yoruba, I'm trying to translate it in English. The short form is, it's when someone feels like they're in a position of influence and everybody's telling you your mouth smells, you just like, what are you going to do? You just keep talking or you're going to shut up, right? That's the loose translation of what I would say in Yoruba. So I knew that what I was saying would matter, but I didn't want to seem as this guy that's so arrogant and thinks he's in control of the culture that he's trying to force people to care about something that nobody wanted to have a conversation about. Nobody cared. But now that people like myself have stepped back and let the powers that be, you know what I mean? There are a lot of artists that have figured out how to thrive in the current environment, and I'm happy for them. There are artists artists that have gone on to be successful in the current environment. I'm very happy for them. This is not a shot at anyone, but at the end of the day, the vision that myself, Bawo, the likes of you,
Tunde, do you know what we need to do? Bawo?
A lot of others. I mean, I've talked to.
Can I say something?
We talked about this in Nigeria.
Give us our new task.
Can I say something?
Give us.
Can we agree? I have a festival every October.
Mm-hmm.
Let's agree next year, starting here, we're going to have, it can be any time. I'm just offering my festival because I can do the work to make sure everybody comes. That we will have the Afrobeats referendum there.
Let's do it.
Because what he's saying, the implication of what he's saying is, I think, is very far reaching. And this is that we're playing a game.
Yep.
But we can't sub out our best players.
We can't afford to.
We can't even afford it.
We can't afford to.
The funny part about it, I'm going to let you finish, I promise.
Because they're already winning. It's already 11-1.
I'm going to let you finish, I promise. There are people,
first 10 minutes.
When I used to work for that place, there are people that told me that, relax. Like, we hear you about this genre shit, but it's not important right now. Just put our artists on and we'll figure out the rest later. Those same people, once I left that space to move on to the next phase, there are people like, Tunde, you were so right. I wish we would have done something back then because now, it's too late now. Like we're here now, and other people are running this, that, and the third, and we can't even get the shit that's actually good and real and speaks to our culture. We can't even get it in the spaces we need. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Wow. Because what do we do now?
We need to keep talking, man.
No, I still remember how important those playlists were when it actually was the categories made sense.
So what happens when there are algorithms and human beings aren't curating those playlists anymore?
That's where it's headed.
When an algorithm that's not controlled by anybody that looks like us or understands our culture is controlling these things.
That's the thing. That's the thing, is that is it better for me if the guy, as an artist, if the guy that's at the top of the food chain is a Nigerian? Do you see why we're hesitating?
Yeah, no.
That's the thing that holds us back.
No, that's
Do you
the
know
issue.
why? Because the answer should just be yes.
Is it better?
And so the reason why I'm saying so, because the answer is that's why we should make sure that Tunde and people like that, like the people, like we have to move together. If we don't move together, this is what happens. Some people will win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they will be like, oh, this person messed up here, this person messed up, this person, but you'll never be in control as a people.
Okay, so what if...
And everything will be controlled.
What if the Nigerian guy there is being backed or funded by a non-Nigerian? Because that's happening a lot.
That's definitely happening.
That's what's happening.
There's another level, another open now.
Like it's even, that's
another doorway.
That's my... Because it's like a face can easily be appointed.
Absolutely.
And that happens more than you think.
And it's
politics,
definitely
music.
happening.
Well, politics, we see it all the time, right? It's like, oh, this is the new president. He came through, somehow got votes, everyone loves him suddenly.
Yep.
And it ends, and 10 years later, it's like, oh, the U.S. government killed the last person and put this guy here. And it's like, okay, cool. You
bring up a great point.
And there's a certain person in our culture that you know who I'm talking about that is a face, but the background is not, right?
Correct.
Like it's not. So that's what I thought about first. So
100%.
we'll have that conversation after. But this is why it's like, yes, it could be.
Because I hear you immediately. As soon as
okay,
you,
so you understand. I don't got to drag it. I don't got to drag him.
I was one of few that couldn't be controlled because nobody was in my pocket. I didn't owe anybody anything. Nobody had anything over me. I was a free agent, and because of that, there were some people that didn't like the fact that they couldn't control my decisions, right? I came in as an agent of, let me help as many Africans as I can. And there were some that didn't like that because they could.
Like, I'll tell you, as an artist, the first time him and I messaged each other, the fact that he had a context of who I was.
It matters.
World of difference.
But
I gotta hit up people all the time, new people all the time. And just imagine from my perspective, at the time when I was speaking to him, I'm 38. Right? I've done it all already.
A king in your castle.
Right? Imagine me talking to him and he doesn't know who I am. He has no context.
Like,
because immediately I hit him up, he was like, of course, in his job at the time, he still needed to make sure that he was following the profession. He's not like, this guy hate me.
Whatever, send me everything.
But just, hey, it's an honor to meet you. Bam, bam, bam. We have the conversation. Oh, I'm going to be here. This is what's available. Bam, 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 bam. Makes a big difference when the right people are, when our people, the right people are in the room. It makes a difference.
No, it's important. That's the thing, right?
They play us this game, and then all of a sudden, it's not our people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are a lot of people uncomfortable that I was able to relate to a lot of y'all. And it confuses me because if you're, and not to be too whatever, but if you're an organization or a company that claims to be creator first or creator friendly or whatever it is, and you systematically keep doing things to make sure that the people that are actually able to carry out that task are removed from that process, what does it say about the mission statement? It's bullshit.
No, but this is my thing. Like, this is why we have this podcast, right? And he knows about a PR firm we have as well, where it's like our people need to be able to dialogue with professionals without feeling like they need a translator, right? Like, you should be able to step into a room and talk to a PR firm and be given the right seat, treated with respect, treated with like... treated with the right, like what your resume says you are. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it doesn't happen a lot, unfortunately. And I feel like when you were there, obviously, and doing what you were doing, the importance was, it was amazing to see like this song.
I like how we're talking about Tunde as if Tunde is not like active out here. Like we're like, no. In those days, blah, blah, blah.
No,
like, this is a man that hasn't even started yet.
His job is different now. But it's like, it's so important because we never get a chance to like tell our story.
It was just shout out to you. I want to say shout out to you. This when I talk about Afrobeats and I talk about Nigerian music, I like to point out the DJ Edus, the DJ Abrantes,
absolutely.
You know, the DJ Mighty Mikes, DJ 3Ks, the guys who were doing it when it was like, you know,
Corny.
It was like NEA, Top Air song.
The band's Fall in Love.
You know, Top Air song in Staten Island.
Yeah.
You know,
shout out to Coscanino.
You know, Coscanino, Don Coscanino, like
I had to do NEA 1 year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like those guys. And in a way, like, you know, I mean, this podcast, but I think there's a generation of young executives who had those roles in those places. And, you know, shout out to them. You guys all, I think, all from the UK to the US, all distinguished themselves. All distinguished themselves. It's not like being an exec at that level, no matter what culture you're from, is difficult.
It's hard, man.
It's hard. It's difficult. People that don't know, don't know.
It's fucking hard,
and there's no way they can understand it. But it's difficult to be at that level.
The amount of anxiety, the amount of Bawo was around, bro. Bawo was around. The amount of functional anxiety I had during those years, bro.
I can't imagine.
When I stepped away, it was for the better.
Yeah.
What it did was it gave me time to really figure out what was the proper next thing to do. And I'm very grateful that I took that time, because now I'm in a space where everything makes sense. Everything I went through, everything that has happened with the artists that I've worked with in the past few years, it all made everything that's happening now make sense.
Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
Wamba City is the realest shit of all time. When I discovered that most millionaires on earth made their money after the age of 45, I was like, whew.
It's coming.
Let me tell you why. We sometimes live with the view of our lives that what has already happened is the most important thing.
I love this.
And that's fucking fallacious.
I love it.
It's not even important.
Yeah.
Your life hasn't even really started. That was just warm up. And if you got to practice on the fucking main court, yo, shout out to you. You know, not everybody, people are practicing on the broken backboard, the one thing in the, you know what I mean? Everybody's going to get to play the game. But the real value you're going to create is still ahead of us. It's all ahead of us. And all we've done so far is just like, that's how I look. Like, imagine if this Tasck thing takes off, right? Like, yeah, I made albums. Yeah, I won awards. But imagine me being part of a platform that has 100,000 young African creators on it, right? It's not even, right? So,
and it's happened. I mean, look at people like Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie's created hits for everyone.
Yo.
And now he is a founder that creates products.
Absolutely.
And he's chilling.
Bro. So I say that generation of, like, I had the benefit of, like, I have great friends in New York. I have B-High, you know.
Shout out to B-High.
Shout out to B-High.
Rock Nation.
So I got a chance to sort of sit and watch, like, in the UK, and watch Afrobeats sort of make it through. And a big role that happened was the first few execs that sat in offices, sat in the streaming offices at high levels, sat in labels at high levels, you know. If you just focus on them, you can have your opinion. But if you look at it in the larger context, you're like, man, this was so important. Because if they didn't go through these companies and get to this point, these budgets would have never been approved. And if these budgets don't get approved, that shit still stays where it was. Yep. It still stays where it was. It needed to do. And so shout out to everyone. I mean, Tunde's here, you know. Respect to all of you guys, man.
Grateful.
And the journey
I would do it all over again if I could.
Yeah. The journey was still.
I would.
That was some stressful times.
I would, bro.
Now we had the conversation
because it wasn't about me. I knew it was never about me.
Well, I think me looking at someone I care about, like the headaches, the conversations, you know. So it's like, because you have your safe space conversation with your friends and, you know, the people that matter to you. So it's always like, damn, like, you know how you know them points of what someone's doing and you're like, damn, I still don't wish that for anybody. You know, and
I'm the least self-important person to me.
How it ended was just horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it was, everything happens for a reason. You know, I lost my mom.
I lost my mom.
I
remember that. Yeah.
And then I transitioned from that role, and then you start to realize that if I was a bitter person, I'd be like, all the stuff I did was for whatever. But it wasn't about me, right? I learned that the people that I stuck my neck out for and didn't sleep, didn't eat, I would travel wherever they were at to make sure that they knew that they would get support from, for their project or whatever we were doing, I didn't do it because I needed anything from them. I did it because I said, you know what, next year, the year after, I want to be able to see someone perform in Madison Square Garden that represents us. I want to be able to see somebody performing, at Staples Center, now Crypto Arena, that looks like us, right? And even though I had to kind of like remove myself from that environment to kind of see who cares about Tunde the person, I still wouldn't change anything. It happened to happen that way. It's for me to see how the industry is, how the culture is, and to be optimistic about what we could continue to build. So that's what we're focused on now. I mean, Bawo and I, the podcast, the brand itself, No Wahala is doing its thing.
And we have a few more things we're gonna launch.
Absolutely, we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate people in the culture like yourself.
We're definitely gonna be there for your event.
Honestly, like I think, maybe we talk about this off camera. Like when I think about like in tech spaces, I always say to myself, like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but
it's fine.
What would a white boy do? and what I mean by this is like these white boys. Okay, let me give you an example. You watch Fire Festival. Go watch it again.
Bro,
right?
we
I
were
already
here.
know where this is going.
We were here.
Listen,
I already
this
know
dude.
where this is going.
I met the dude.
Will is here. I'm talking about white boys. Will is
That's
here.
hilarious.
Shout out. Honestly,
I met the dude when he launched his company. He threw a party at like one of these spots in New York and invited us. Can I
tell you the craziest part of this whole thing? I am pitching investors. I know how fucking grueling it is.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
You have to sell it 10 times as much.
You have 15 minutes with this guy. He's probably listened to 8 people that day. He's going to come on in his hood. He's going to turn to you. He's giving it 3 minutes of his time. Maybe.
He's waiting for the next thing.
Just like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. Thank you. Bye. Next. Thank you. Next. This dude has burnt through his cash.
And
hops on a plane.
Still gets more.
Hops on a plane. Hops on a plane. Goes to meet this white lady. She gives him $2 million. I know what $2 million in capital means. That's crazy.
No,
how do you get $2 million on a weekend for a project that's failing? But do you know what? That's actually the way the world is supposed to be.
I can't wait.
If people see that you're about it, people should be able to be like, okay,
I'll take a bet.
Tell me what the problem is again. Okay, I see what you did. Here's the cash you need. But do you know what happens to us? No, we don't get that support. We get punished. We get like...
You failed.
You failed. It gets branded on you. It gets... And
now you know to stay in your place. Stay in your place. Don't ever try it again.
And
that is something that we have to collectively refuse.
Yep.
Because that's what I was saying when I was talking about like I was sitting with Tunde Ednuts, and he hates it when people talk about like how well he's doing right now. But Tunde Ednut is doing well. He's doing well.
That's good to hear.
Bro, this is a guy
from
was a graphic artist in Nigeria, then became a comedian in the UK, had a successful career in the UK, then moved back to Nigeria, became an artist, and then ran out of everything in Nigeria and then moved to America and became a blogger. Right?
Are you calling Tunde Ednut white?
That's hilarious.
I'm saying that when I looked at him, I'm like, this is a guy who every point of his career, people would have said, you're finished now.
Yep.
But the next thing
was bigger.
Better. He told me the next thing he's on, which is, I think is going to be even bigger than the blogging he's doing right now. You know what I mean? And I that's sort of like just the energy I'm saying. Like, we got to make sure that our the adventurous people, the risk takers, the people that are first in, that they get brushed off, they heal, and they go back in.
We're going to bring Tunde Ednut in here.
They got to go back in. They got to go back in. Like, at that level, you got to go back in. You got to go back in one day.
We'll talk.
Because
trust me, we'll talk.
The reason why I'm saying so is because who else? This is what I mean about what white boys do.
I'm trying to retire all my friends. That's my goal.
That's the Kardashian
They give
way.
each other second chances.
I want to retire my friends.
Way.
I want to give all my friends roles
right,
that they can retire before they're 40.
Look,
that's amazing.
Emma, you're saying that, right? You're saying they give each other second chances. Do Nigerians in Nigeria give other Nigerians second chances?
That's what I mean
Yes
about
or
the
no?
referendum. No, we don't.
It's not in our
But
culture.
that's what I mean about the referendum, that we can change it.
Yeah,
we can
agree.
say, you know what? It's not more than 200 people that have really contributed to Afrobeats.
Facts.
It's not more than 200 people, really, from an executive level.
Okay.
Who are they? We should meet, we should talk. What are your ideas? Let's keep going. Because if we don't do it, what happens is we're not going to own any of this shit.
Nope.
We're not going to own 1% of it.
Nope. And all these documentaries will be created, and none of the people that actually were involved will actually
We're all going to be on IG Live or YouTube being like, can you imagine what these niggas did with my rights? Then this nigga, this one person in this.
They left me out, man.
We saw it happen before.
Yep.
We've seen it.
Yep.
Hip hop is a cautionary tale right there.
I mean, even recently, there was Nigerian artists going back and forth about what actually happened when certain artists, American artists, went to Nigeria, and what were the facts about, certain stages, whether planes were populated by these people or they weren't populated by these people.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Shout out to that man.
Shout out to that man.
I may have missed this
but
one.
nobody was documenting at that time, so who would know the truth?
Yeah.
Right.
And this is why I give credit to everyone documenting things, and I also have to learn to document things more as well, because our culture is a storytelling culture. Like, it's sit around the fire, we tell the story. That's how our history's passed, right? But we've gotten into this era of we don't even know who the chiefs and the storytellers are anymore.
Selective memory.
Right? Now we give people, we assign roles to just whoever's popular.
Yep.
Right?
Nice.
Like the influencers allowed to tell us what being a Nigerian is.
Correct.
And even, no offense, right? Even artists are allowed to be historians, which they're not. And there's
Not
nothing
at all.
wrong with that.
Yep.
It happens a lot in all black cultures where it's like, okay, this rapper is, like, if we put in an American term, this rapper is popular and black. So tell us what black people feel about Black Lives Matter. No,
But also,
you're not versed.
Yes.
You don't know enough
Not
of that.
a verse.
Right? And me, like I said, I'm a Nigerian in America. I was born and raised, all that is cool, but I can't speak for people on ground. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So we have to go back to saying, you're good at this, do this, and if you want to earn your stripes in another lane, you can. But we can't just say you're a level 10 this, you're level 10 this as well. And that's what I have an issue with one of my favorite rappers.
No, 100%. I know. But that said, I also want to give a shout out to people that, I've sat in roles, but I wasn't fully baked, right? I feel like I got to grow in those roles, which helped me become a better person
You earn
overall.
your stripes.
And there are people that I've met along that journey, managers, artists, cultural ambassadors, etc., who have taught me that, there's always room to learn more. There's always room to grow, right? There was never a day where I thought that I could speak for an entire culture as the authority of the entire culture, right? I never have wanted to be that person. I've never been that person, right? But to the uninitiated, it would look like because certain people sit in certain space that they are that, right? So I'm grateful that there are some people that, shout out to everybody that gives people grace, one, and shout out to people that are willing to teach so people can grow.
Yeah.
There's so many people that have played a role in Mi's journey, and your journey, my journey.
Bro, that's not what white boys do.
Yeah.
Do you see the WeWork guy?
Yes, bro. Have you seen the show?
Girl?
You seen the show? Was it what is the name of the show? We something.
I haven't seen it.
It's a WeWork. It's on Showtime, I think it's called.
Oh, really? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I saw that. An old girl that was selling the pill that fixes everything.
Oh, yes.
Dog.
It's just it's a scam, and they know what that does. They know what that does.
The reason why is because you can't look just at the project. You have to look at the person.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to say to yourself, what kind of person is this? Is this the kind of person that
I'm
tries to
putting money
invent
behind.
things and tries to take risks and when you find these VC funds or these guys that are really good, these VC guys, they're along with you for the journey. They sit in your company, they're on your cap table, but they're also being like, if this project works, then we all make money together. So they help you along, right?
Right.
And that's what, that's what I think one of the things we can add to our culture, to be like, our soldiers if you're a soldier, in the army and you get shot and you survive, you get honored.
Mm-hmm.
Purple Heart.
But sometimes in culture, what we do is like, why did you get shot?
100%.
Why were you shot? Why did you? Okay, now we can't fuck with you anymore.
That is literally our culture.
No, for real.
Who told you to go there?
Who told you to go there? Why did you?
Why were you there?
Even though they know it's a hazardous situation,
Yeah,
there's a good
that's the
chance
whole
you will get
context.
shot.
Yep.
And we should respect the fact, like, hey, this person is leading the way, trying to break new ground. But no, you didn't
In
make
Yoruba
it. Or they
culture,
make fun of you
Talo
for
Ryan.
getting shot.
That's what I'm.
Who
that's,
sent you?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
who sent you?
Talo Ryan.
Like that's the point of like the
You're
point
right.
I'm making is that like at the CEO level, these guys get jobs that tank companies because a company tanking is it's a probability. It's very possible that it's going to happen.
Yep.
So at that level, people know, hey, okay, this guy, as long as you weren't like stealing the money or you weren't like, this guy did his best. This is where he made a mistake, but he's learned from it. So he's probably the best person to go again.
But we don't get that opportunity.
No.
Like you said, that
Others
grace.
are able to fail upwards. That's
Yeah.
what we call it, failing
Yeah.
up.
And that's why we
There
got
are
to
people-
celebrate. We
there are
got to
people
celebrate
that-
everyone that does in our culture.
There are people in Fortune 500 companies. They don't look like us, but they're given the opportunity to fail and go to another company and fail there and go to another company and fail there. All in executive roles. Fail. And nobody talks about the failures, but it's clear they failed in all these different roles. They're allowed to fail upwards. Like you were a director, you failed. You failed up into a senior director role. Then you failed into an executive role as a senior VP. Then you failed into a EVP, executive vice president at another company. Then you failed there and you went to another company as president. Then you fail there.
I'm telling you,
Then you fail there.
This is it.
You fail there, you start your own company. Now you have investors that are willing to pour into your company. You failed in all the
All
other
your
things
guys who were the ones giving you all those opportunities.
Correct.
Why?
Correct.
Because they know it's experience.
It's gang shit.
Yep.
But think about it. It's experience. Who else would know? Like, there's a difference between someone that's in dance. You know, Sabi, what they do. But there's like the other situation of like, this is a difficult project to run a team to deliver on like a complex thing. Is a difficult project.
Yeah.
It could fail or it couldn't fail. But if it does fail and everybody worked hard on it and you have this exec who's like, man, I can't believe this thing failed. I gave it my everything. Who is the best person to lead the next enterprise? Is that person.
Yeah.
They have the experience. They have the knowledge. They have the scars. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We also need people that invest that look like us that are also investing in us.
and
That's the
Nigerian
other thing.
investors are
look
not-
like-
they want
Because
to-
the ones
They
that you're
look-
talking about, guess what? Their investors look like them.
That's my thing.
I-
And they're
that's
all the
like-
same
I-
There's
culture.
that's
this there's this preservation thinking they have, right? And keeping themselves going, where it's
They
like,
protect their own.
yes, that's my thing. That's the biggest thing. Like, yes, the experience thing kicks in, but a lot of these people are protecting their own. Like, hey, we went to school together. You're part of this country club. Or, you know, my wife knows your wife. And, you know what I mean? Like, you would never, like, you fuck up, but you would never cross this line.
All
Like-
the people that are
like,
members
or-
of Ikoyi Country Club should be investing in the young creatives,
Yeah,
the young
they're friends,
idea
kids, and all
generators,
that.
Louder, I wish I could give you my
making
mic.
sure
Wish I
that
could give
they
you
are
my
set
mic.
up, that
To
they
double
are
up.
To double up.
That's really what it is.
No, I'm
That's
with
what it is.
it.
We
I'm
don't
with
have a
it.
culture. we
Shout
don't
out
have-
to those that do. Shout out to the OG Atero Peter side. You know, he's one of the people. Shout out to Tom Davis.
I've heard some of these names before. Shout outs to them.
Yeah, shout out to a few people. Like, I'm talking about few
Believers.
people that are like actually putting their money into like younger people, building accelerators, stuff like that. Shout out to that generation. But a lot of you Nigerian billionaires
Just hiding money in European countries for no reason because you don't want snakes to eat them in
Yeah, bro.
Nigeria.
I don't want to
It's
get
disgusting.
into it. I don't want to get that. I don't want to be stressed
It's
out.
disgusting.
But
But
it's
that-
just so
yeah.
sad because the amount of potential in the most populous
crazy.
black country in the
Crazy.
world. Like if Nigeria wins, it just
Are
overflows.
you talking about the person that considers himself to be Nigeria right now?
Isaac, I'm a trans Ghanaian. You know
Okay.
that.
Are you still trying to come to Lagos in December?
I'm trying to be a trans Beninois. I went to Benin.
Are you trying to be
a
Dahomian?
month ago. I'm
really
I'm
Benin
from,
Republic.
No.
Yeah. Oh
one-
my God, amazing.
No
Beautiful,
wonder.
right?
Amazing. I like safety, chill. Obviously, it's Yoruba land or Yoruba land adjacent. Food is similar to what you would see, you know, in Yoruba states. So it was. I'm going back. I'm trying to talk to the people there so we could see about getting the festival going there.
You trying to learn French?
So
Oh, I have a friend out there. that works in government.
We
so if
should
you need
we
a
should
connect,
no,
yeah.
we should talk about that because it's
Shout
like
out to Kike.
Ghana's popping, Nigeria's popping. Let's get a French country popping,
Let's do it.
and there's money to be made because you
Yeah.
got a festival going there. You people
We
come
gotta get
out.
Magic System to be the headliner.
Kizz Daniels came out when I was out there. Oh, see
Did you see the video about what that song
the
was actually
translation?
No.
about?
Oh man,
What is it about?
It is
Heartbreak.
last
Chopping
on
breakfast.
steroids.
chopping breakfast.
It is a sad song.
Wow.
Cheated on
That
mans,
makes me
played
love
him.
the song even
Yo,
more.
Yeah.
it's been popping our whole life.
But look at it though. All sad boy tunes pop. When
We didn't even
a
know.
man gets sad on a song,
Yeah.
and this is our therapy for men that don't speak to others. Once a guy gets sad on a song, be like, damn, that shit hits. I felt that before, and that's because guys don't talk about their feelings. So when a man talks about his feelings, men them are like, yep, this is it. Once Burna Boy said she manipulates my love, or it was over. Like
Yep.
niggas is like, yep, this is yep. She
Kept
did
talking shit
same.
first. You could bow for the.
Yeah.
You're going to respect me first,
Right,
and now
and
let me
then-
tell the world why I think you're a terrible person.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Guys love
Such a good
sad
song,
songs
yeah.
more than they think.
Shout out to Chopstix.
Oh
Chopstix.
yeah. Oh right.
Chopstix made my album, but
Yes.
Chopsticks.
Vino was saying that he changed the vibe of
Soft
Soft
Life
Life
Tony completely,
Yeah.
completely.
because it was more of a
It had
grime
a
sound.
harder.
I'm waiting for y'all to drop that. I don't
Yeah.
know who I got to send an email, so I would
Yeah.
love to hear that regardless.
Yeah, had a harder bounce to it. In fact, the version Fino had was like an older beat, you know. But I like how it ended up. I like that summer.
And where's Chopstick from?
Chopsticks from Jaws.
Wow. Is it
The
just
Joss
the-
agenda.
made
Just
kilometers.
agenda.
That's the name
Made,
of the episode.
um,
Adjust the
Just do it.
He's made a few burnout records. He's made
yes.
Gidana.
Listen, when everyone was doing the
One of
One
verses,
of my favorite
obviously you
records.
did
from
yours.
Burna.
Yeah.
Give them.
You
yeah.
did yours with Nate OC.
Yeah.
Chopstick did his as well. So it's like you got to just see
Yeah.
the talent because we were all home just staring at each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember the connection was bad, but MI and Nate OC's was very good as well.
Yeah.
Too smooth. Like it was just like two
That was a
smooth
beautiful
guys.
evening.
Listen,
That was a beautiful evening.
listen. I
had
was
fun
hype
there.
as hell with the bad service. Like, play this song. Play it, man. Basketball snap. It was really good, and obviously, Chops did his as well. So it was dope. Just seeing the
There's a podcast I saw. It was a podcast that I saw with they were saying me and Sako there. And what would happen if we did a versus?
It's so obviously the soccer day thing, right? Like whenever we have indigenous rappers go, like,
What else?
I feel like they're never going to be fully appreciated, right? Because X amount of people understand every bar.
What about you?
And
What about
every
you? And
reference.
Manifest.
Oh yeah, they
I
were
feel like
just together.
I feel like that's the real versus because y'all are both, and this is not a disrespect to anybody that's aforementioned. I just think that you guys both represent very distinct cultural groups in your respective countries, and you both operate lyrically in English at such a high level that requires you to be cerebrally tuned in to what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
You're spitting right now, my brother. You're spitting.
I agree.
I'm
I was
feeling
trying
that.
to say it in a way that was respectful of everybody
No,
involved.
No, but this is what I think about me as in a versus situation. Like the thing about MI is that if you wanted to just go lyrical, I think that like Manifest, when you think about Manifest, you think about like amazing music, amazing projects, amazing bars. You could go there. If you wanted to go Sark, you're talking hits.
Yeah.
You could go there. MI has those records.
No, he does.
You know what I mean? If you wanted to go, okay, we want like, you know, records that are whatever. That's the thing about me. If you want to say mixtape, we want just mixtape rap. You know, MI got them. You know what I mean?
But that's
So this is why when, you know, I call myself the guy, you know, I think it should be a name change everybody should get behind. You know, but
When is your contract
see,
up?
Let's start with the lawyers. Start with the lawyers, and then we'll go
See how
from
we
there.
count that back.
Now the verses, the manifest would be called M. Dot.
M. Dot.
Because both of, you know what I'm saying? But back to Soccer Day, I just feel
It's
like...
almost like you're a branding guy or something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Who would have
Wow.
thunk?
It's
Who would have
almost like
thunk
you're
it?
a brand or something.
But I just feel like the Soccer Day thing, like, the MI fans will only give Soccer Day maybe 3 songs that they'll be like,
No,
okay.
Soccer, they got records though.
No, I'm just saying they
Hallelujah.
don't
I'm talking about
fully.
bars though.
Wait, you're talking about
Hallelujah.
appreciating the
records,
bars.
yes, but I'm talking about bars.
The appreciating, they don't get to
There's not a
appreciate
lot
his
of-
bars.
Across the continent, if you
Because
if we're talking about hits,
a
that's
bulk,
one thing. We're
a
talking
bulk
about
of his
bars.
catalog is in tweet.
3. Yeah, that's
so
what I'm saying. So it's like, it's not
shout
that.
out to Sark, man.
Rappers-
Sark
Is he-
is
rappers
he's in the
that
super
rap-
States. He's in the States, right?
Yes.
I should
I'm
hit
not
him
going
up.
to say
I
the
should hit him up.
state, but yeah. he's in
Rappers
the
that
state.
rap
I'll tell
out
you
of-
the state of. I don't know if he wants his business out there.
Okay, but he's in the States.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
Gotcha,
tell you the
gotcha.
state in the States.
Okay,
that he's in.
Rappers that rap at a high level in English. I think that a good verses could be done. Although we don't know what's happening with verses right now. There's like a lawsuit between Triller.
Yeah, man. Isn't that so
yeah.
unfortunate?
Yeah. But it's not gonna. It wouldn't stop you guys from deciding to do something.
Yeah.
Just don't call it verses.
I mean, we did 10 for 10 with Nato C.
I remember.
I'm thinking about who knows if we have time next year.
That'd be
you
a
know,
cool thing to
yeah,
start off
to pick it back up,
not,
right?
You know, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. Find the rappers
Yeah.
that want to rap.
Yeah.
You know, Hip Hop Pansilla, Nasty C.
I love where you're going because I'm about to
Casper.
transition real quick. We spoke about rappers in Nigeria. So now let's broaden it out
Mm-hmm.
to rappers in the continent. How do you feel about the future of rap in the continent? Because again, we're exporting something that we didn't create, you know? So I always feel like, I enjoy rap out the continent, but I always feel like,
we go drag am, we go
yeah,
drag
that's
am.
what I'm saying.
Because I think like it's our culture. I think like you like I used to give this as an analogy. You think about like things fall apart.
Mhm.
And like the book, and they say Ibokwenu, everybody else say, hey, Ibokwenu, hey, Ibokwenu, you know, and then well, that's like a hook, right? It's call and response, and then the first thing that the person would say, they would drop like a metaphor. They'd be like, if you see a toad walking in the right, and literally the structure of how these speeches were given, how like they would have to construct their bars line for line and say like it was an art to it.
No,
Yeah.
still
You
is.
say the thing and then the crowd got to respond, and that's hip hop.
No,
Yeah.
it is. And it's so crazy. Whenever someone rhymes a word, everyone feels like it's a little more important than if the word didn't rhyme.
Yeah, yeah.
Like some people like, something rhyme,
You
and you be like,
you go listen to those guys. They're
Lyrical
like
miracle.
the gods from today are not from. For if the gods would have done, the people say,
right, that's your hit. It rhymes, it hits.
That's an ad lib.
No, for
The ad-lib,
it's the ad lib.
Mama.
Nah, when Wayne said I could say don't rhyme and it's gonna rhyme.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was, but I thought that shit was the greatest thing ever.
No, Wayne.
Oh
It's
my
because
God.
he talked about Nigerian hair. We were all
then-
Wayne fans.
Yo, listen, when I heard Tougher Than Nigerian,
I memorized the Millie.
Listen, I didn't know what I thought it would happen
Yeah,
moving
shout
forward.
out to Wayne for that. Actually,
Oh, yes.
that was actually.
Oh, my God.
That actually put us on in
Yeah,
its
I
own
was
little
like-
moment.
Right.
In its own way, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
tougher
it was
than
like-
Nigerian.
Fun fact. Which Nigerian hair was he talking about?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know who
Lauren
inspired.
London. She's part Nigerian.
Ooh.
He was dating Lauren London at the time.
Touche,
So
you're 100%.
tougher than Nigerian hair.
Why are you pulling the hair back
I
like
just-
that? Why is that your instinct?
Visual learning. That was
Ashawo.
it. Is it? Wow,
It's
me.
well.
I did.
My criteria is
That's
what I'm saying.
I'm a venereal.
That should lead to the pencil and leaked in the sheet on the tablet of my mind. Because I don't got time. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
I memorized. I remember I was in high school, and I remember memorizing that there were two versions of a Millie. There was a mixtape version that leaked,
Yes.
and then there was a version for the album that he changed up because there was a lot of
Now,
stuff. that
Millie
he's
was
referenced.
so good that the video was just him walking out a trailer.
That is why Wayne is still one of my favorite rappers.
Yes, he gave us
In
that.
New York, I'm not allowed to say that because Jay-Z exists. But Lil Wayne, all my friends that knew me in high school would say
I'm-
Lil Wayne.
Give me a
I'm a-
verse. Give me
Yes,
a verse.
please.
I deserve it, man.
Please, man's been
I
asking for
did
it. Talk
in
that talk.
Africa what you've did to the world.
Talk that
I don't
talk.
disagree.
I deserve it. You have few verses. I deserve. If my fans are watching this is the part of the podcast that should go viral. Let's get at S_C_. Is that what his thing is?
Yes.
That's Jay-Z, yeah.
When he comes online, I want to see these mentions.
MI.
MI deserves a verse. We will do something. I've got Nas. One shot, I got Nas, the same caliber. Then I hit Bawo like, yo, what up, my nigga? This shit's above us, just like Canada, you know?
Hove,
But
Guru, if you're seeing this,
yo, I deserve it.
if and when it happens, we fully
Well, he's
license this clip.
He's
for
tweeted
whatever.
about it. You know, MI has spoke. I've been like, this is a manifestation
Wow, I see what's
moment.
God, give me.
No. You've been shooting this whole pod, man.
You see it. You know
This
what I mean?
should be a subscription, by the way, guys.
I stretched before the podcast. I'm ready. I'm ready to shoot. But no, I will. It'd be dope. I think that's the one. Well, there's many other things we'd love to see you do, because you're one of the few rappers that enjoys bringing other sound to rap. So there are other artists I would celebrate just as much as a J verse to me that you do it, because you're a creative. And a lot of rappers are rapidy rap.
Yeah, of course.
But you're not a rapidy rap, but you can rapidy rap.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So and I think
the reason with Jay is because he's
your guy.
More than that, it's very rare. You know, like I would feel the same way about. I mean, probably the most valuable 16 you could get now is a Drake 16. You know,
valuable more than Jay.
Valuable
more than Jay.
Like just look at Drake's numbers, bro.
Yeah, I'll give
as
Jay,
far as like I
numbers.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand why you reacted that way. You're talking as a rap fan.
Yeah,
the most valuable verse to you obviously would be a Jay verse. I get it. He's the GOAT.
Jay,
but
and
you're talking about as
numbers.
as like as a
return,
like the return as a performer, as an artist, what you would get out of the release of a record. The value would be higher with mainstream pop artists.
MI's getting married in days, please.
I mean, but that's exactly
keep
why
the boy
he's
away
focused
from.
on.
Yeah,
I'm focused on. That's why he's focused on the return.
I want MI and Jay telling us about how it's like on the other side.
A J verse may get him in a museum, but a Drake verse may get that third house.
MI and Jay post yes, I get what you're saying.
Immediately.
No, I hear everything you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But MI and Jay post-marriage.
And the point
post-marriage, MI, right?
The point I was trying to make was that even though there are verses that are more valuable from a financial point of view, because of how rare it is to get a J verse now, that is the thing that if I had one wish, that's
Sotheby's, Boma.
I'm not mad at that. It's like the shit.
What has more foot traffic?
Shit based off where MI is, even the way he described writing for the guy, right? And the type of verses would be hearing from Jay, like it would be so just. It'd make our lives better. It'd make our lives better. 100% believe that.
Who spent more time on the Billboard 100?
Like Drake is gonna try to get MI to a strip club after they record. We don't need that.
All that is not what he's talking about.
Champagne
I'm
Papi?
joking. I'm joking.
If you want to give a Nigerian artist another verse,
One more dance.
this guy.
Well,
Champagne Papi.
why don't
needs a two
we
dance.
just get to Khaled? Because Khaled be having them in an album like it's nothing.
Yo, Khaled
Khaled be having them in an
Man.
album like it's nothing. Might as well go through Khaled, then.
Self-belief on 1,000.
Bro.
Self-belief
That's
on
manifestation. That's real manifestation. My brother, I'm with you.
Am I allowed?
Go ahead. Take it home, King. Take it home, King.
To also to talk about a collaboration that I've always wanted to see with MI.
Who?
Tell me.
Kendrick.
I had said.
Where does that
the
rank?
one-
Oh, is
that
Ooh,
3?
It depends.
Is that 3?
It depends.
We said Jay and Drake.
I think MI and Kendrick on a record would be nuts.
Madness.
If
Madness.
I got to
Nuts.
hang out with Kendrick,
That'd be good enough.
no, like I want to experience creating with him as well. You know, like there's some people like that if they sent you a verse, you know, like when I listen to a Drake album or something, I feel like he's someone that could be in Toronto or whatever and listen to your record, and him and 40 could make decisions and send you something and it'd be so dope. But with Kendrick, I want to be, you know, I want the record we make to come from a conversation we're having. I don't know if that makes, you know what I mean?
100% makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like he's so deliberate with his music. So deliberate.
We're manifesting a Kendrick verse for
Kung
MI.
Fu Kenny and the guy.
From the gods of PG
Lang.
Lang.
I want to rap with. My new thing now is I want to rap with as many people as I can. Like I want as the music is open.
9. We got Kendrick.
Jada. I want to rap with Fab. I want to rap.
You're
with...
in New York. You should be talking to some of them while you're here.
Yeah, man. I gotta go back home soon.
Yeah,
to
you
get
can always
married.
come back.
But when I come back,
that visa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, when I come back, we gotta get him.
That has to happen. I feel like that'd be so dope to see what they knew. Because I enjoy rappers that tell their story. I enjoy hearing the new chapter, right? Because it's like a barometer of where it is you're at now. Like when I listen to Jay, it's just like, this is dope to hear from the guy that was rapping about this 2 decades ago to rapping about this. I think that's amazing. Like,
what's your top 5?
My top 5, I got Nas.
Number 1?
Yeah, Nas is 1.
2, Jay.
I don't know if it's the Virgo or just, but Nas, Jay, Andre, 3, Rakim, 4, and unfortunately, Kanye, 5. Kanye blows minds. Like, he stresses me out.
You are like East Coasted out.
Yeah, no. It's all, well,
but you didn't even say
South.
Big. You didn't say Big. I mean, Andre's South, yeah.
Andre's South.
Yeah, I guess.
But Big could be anywhere, right? Like Big and Pac I don't put on the list because it's just Big and Pac. Like
the top five conversation is always funny because I'm from Connecticut, so my exposure to hip hop was it was earlier than my peers.
Can I tell him the rapper from Connecticut?
Stop. Yes, before I produced music, I used to rap.
No, not you. A popular rapper from Connecticut right now.
Who?
Santana.
Oh yeah. So funny enough, I grew up with Saucy Santana's cousins in Bridgeport.
Welcome like a dog.
And Waterbury. But I mean, obviously we didn't know back then that
I don't know if you know who Saucy Santana is.
I haven't heard.
All right, so say no more.
Yeah, say
move on with the 5.
I would say my top 5 is still Wayne. I mean, Wayne hasn't put out a record that I've idolized in a while, but I still think I've spent years listening to his music.
Nah.
So Lil Wayne,
I get that.
Jay, Kendrick, Andre. That's where it gets weird. Kanye's up there.
Kanye saved us from gangster rap for the rest of our lives.
He did though.
That is.
Thank God.
That is a crazy
Black Thought.
That's not. It's not an insane take, but it's an insane take.
Black Thought is my 5th.
Listen, Kanye saved us from having to be strapped up to go to.
I mean, he was oh wow! How did I forget Lupe?
Oh,
see, so that's why my list is always weird because
weird.
The 5th is always
many.
The 5th is always
There's Lupe. Lupe is my guy.
It's between Lupe and Black Thought for the 5th, but I think Black Thought.
It might have been Kanye.
But like Lupe, Lupe
about it.
Yeah. Lupe would say it too. Like Kanye makes better music than him. Like Lupe's a better writer, better rapper.
Kanye's a better artist. Lupe's a better lyricist.
Exactly.
That's what they're different. I think what happens is people try to attribute the same titles for different skills, and that's where things get
because if it's just a skill set, then Eminem would be in there. But I'm not listening to Eminem as much.
You're arguably one of the greatest rappers the continent has ever seen.
Ratapu.
But then people would say, oh, where does MI measure up to a pop artist from the continent, right? Yeah. It's a different market.
Yeah. I agree.
It's a completely different market. There's different investment into these genres, right?
Yeah.
If the same money being pumped into pop and R&B on the content was being pumped into hip hop, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right?
But the truth about it is that we are gonna shoot for the top.
I believe it.
You know what I mean? I spent a good amount of my career working in the offices, being an exec. And I'm very proud of it because, like, for instance, just look at CK. Like, for whatever role I played in that journey, look, like, this is the biggest Afrobeat song of all time.
Yep.
Right? Up until today.
Love Wanted T.
Yeah, Love Wanted T. However, we still there. And as the market they open up,
there could be more.
There will be more. Drag them. This was my mentality when I got to Lagos. I was like, I may not be the best. I may not come first, but whoever comes first is gonna be like, damn, that guy. that guy was chasing me to the last moment. And that's how I want, like, when I talk to rappers back home, I'm like, look, score, it looks like fourth quarter, 3 minutes. I done seen Reggie shoot 13 in 8 seconds. You know what I mean? So let's go. Like, if the game is over, then that's another thing, but it's not over. We're still here, we're still active, we're still making music. And I do think hip-hop has as wide a net, it has a global net, and that African rappers can tap into it if they don't relent. If they, like, in this moment say, we can still make great albums and great projects and still put out great hip-hop music, I think we can go really far.
My question, because I know we're going to wrap up soon, how does it feel, like, how do you find that balance between being a dope lyricist and a person that usually works with all these artists that popped? Because you have a great ear for music, obviously. Like, I'm not sure if I'd have to do my research perfectly, but you've worked with almost all the big ones.
Yeah.
In that, you know, while they were still setting it.
Yep.
Right. Like, how does that, because I'm sure the older you get, you're trying to find that percentage balance where it's like, I'm gonna do this, do that, and obviously still discover new talent, and it's not just in rap, because like everyone attributes rap to you, like, because of that thing. CK's not a rapper. You know what I mean? You worked with Wiz years before. Yeah. You were in a Burner song.
The first time, I mean,
you were in a Burner song
right now I want
to
claim my badges. I said the first time anybody ever heard Wiz was on Talk About It.
That's what I'm saying. And Wiz was a rap fan. You know what I mean? Because he was a fan of yours.
He was a rapper.
Yeah, he was. He used
before
to do when I met him.
I'm talking about pre-Holla at Your Boy.
He was like what Burna Boy makes now. Yeah,
Fusion.
Which is like with a reggae.
Yeah,
with
That's what I'm saying. Like, where? How do you deal with that balance?
The truth about it is that
because you were Zach at one point.
Yeah, the journey of the artist. You know, kind of have many. You know, it's like being in a cockpit with a lot of but with the thing blacked out, and there are a lot of holes, and you get to choose what hole you look through, right? To look out into the sky. And so sometimes you can look through the sky, the hole of like achievements, like sales and all that. I think right now it's time for hip hop to just be like, we need to just make great projects.
Yep.
Great projects, great songs, great whatever it is. The music needs to be
Output
great.
has to be at a high level.
High level.
Agreed.
That Afrobeat has opened the door and has made it so that people seeing an African on stage isn't weird to them.
Yep.
And now, if you're a rap fan, falling in love with an African rapper shouldn't be the most difficult thing
100%.
anymore. You know what I mean? And so your job now is just go make great music.
I want to hear more from MI. I want to hear more from Fowles. I want to
exactly.
Hear from
this is the moment.
More from Black Bones.
This is the moment. Now you can open up to the world is open.
Yeah, Black Bones had a #1 song recently. I feel like it was a dope thing to see.
Yeah.
I love bars. I'm not gonna lie, but it's always confused me why a rap
sound
has
like
never...
a drunk.
No, wow. I've always liked
the
lyrics.
jokes have been flying. You guys are giving them content too.
No, we're trying.
This is for free. These guys get this for free.
Should we charge whether I want naira?
Oh yeah,
whether I want. I mean, you should collect.
we are tasking you
to help us.
Yes.
I have my final question because your second rapper we've interviewed, third. I'm sorry.
Third, yeah.
How do you feel about the redefinition of the word freestyle?
Ooh.
Because you can freestyle.
This is a good question.
So now people like freestyle, and I'm sure the notepad is fucking packed with words, and they're like freestyle. So how do you feel about the? Because I don't even
write my bars.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the whole people that supposedly don't write. But the freestyle where it's like it's a written verse
that they
But
memorized.
now this is considered a freestyle. How do you feel
this
about that?
This is a good question.
Because you're a purist.
Yeah, this is a good question.
Are you a snob about it? Like,
but you're trying to. I saw what you're doing. You're trying to set me up to answer one way.
No. I'm gonna tell you this, right? Naturally, I'm a snob, right? Like my snob thing is with food, right? Like if it doesn't taste good, if it doesn't feel this way, if it doesn't check all the boxes, I am not interested. Like I will tell you this shit is whack because I'm big on food. Rap is one of your many strengths, right? Like, so you should be a snob about certain things as a purist. I don't know why people, they hear snob and think, but if we don't have a level of nah, you're not good. It's like Anna Wintour. Like everybody hates Anna Wintour, but obviously she's good at.
She's a fashion snob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should.
I'm a culture snob.
They should be snobs. I'm a pigeon snob. I hate hearing bad pigeon. Hate it. Hate it.
I think the question is,
Go for it.
I interpret this question like this. Would you rather hear a rapper respond to you rapid response, or would you rather have them, like if you were to bring the two dopest rappers into a room, would you rather say, this nigga said some shit to you, you have 5 minutes to think about it, or you have to respond immediately? Which one would you prefer?
Can I give a good answer or just?
Yeah, because to me that's
I have expectations for 5 minutes. The expectation for 5 minutes is going to be different than the expectation for a day.
Instantly. I agree.
You
yeah,
see what
sure.
I'm saying?
I agree.
Sure. But the point I'm making is that there is a level to which, if you're responding in real time, there's a level to how good it can get. And 100%. I think we're past that now. I think that level no longer impresses anyone anymore.
Gotcha.
Where people go like, yo, I came up in the place and I'm sitting here in the podcast, you know, like, and then try to like, you know, think about the next,
what's in front of
like,
you,
Outcast, you know, and then Outlast, and you know, a house past, you know, and then I'm trying to put those together, and I think people can still do it.
Yeah, there are people that are good at it.
It's just that when you listen to Black Thought on Funk Flex, that's what we want.
Exactly.
We want 200 bars of just
fire,
and we need 5 minutes to do that. So that's what I mean.
But that's what makes him special, right?
And it's just like there's nobody now that is dropping a verse that you would pay attention to that will do it off the top. Off the top has a human limit to it. Who's the best off the
We've
top?
also gotten spoiled because the thing
outside of Black Thought and Lupe.
No, but
it's not.
Even
off the top.
Even Black,
those verses that you're thinking of are not off the top.
I feel like
they've
Lupe
memorized
could
some
give
stanzas and they add stuff in.
Yes, because as we're here speaking off the top,
Candidly,
right?
yeah.
Like, you know, so it's like there's certain things where before everyone comes, you have an idea of what it is you're speaking about.
Yeah.
But my thing is that we shouldn't compare the 5 minutes to the 1 hour or the 2 days or whatever it is. It's like when beef happens, like the Drake and Meek thing, where it's like Drake was dropping shit in a certain window. Like at some point, Meek, you got to put something in this window as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying
they're completely different artists, though.
I just agree that right now,
and Meek is a freestyle artist.
But Meek,
he started as that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like rapid flow, like what the original meaning of it. Freestyle used to mean, which is I'm just going off the dome.
Right.
You know, just, you know, cable, table, able, fable, sit, hit, you know, shit. You know,
I grew up on Smack TV and URL and all that stuff. So I used to love watching like Sirius Jones and, you know, all those guys do their thing. I mean,
but then it got to a level where we maxed that out.
It changed, correct.
And then when we maxed it out, now people started being
they got
like,
used to it. It didn't impress anyone anymore.
Now people start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Working on a verse for 2 months.
Correct.
And when you hear it, you're like,
it's
like Loaded Lux have Funk Flex.
Exactly.
Lux is
Black Thought at Funk Flex. You need time to write that verse. You need time to think, like for it to get to the level like
or Simba.
We listened
Simba did Flex and it was
like
I still haven't heard verses like that.
We've listened to Snoop. We listened to Slick Rick. We listened to Cannabis. We listened to Pharoah Monch. Like we've consumed so much hip hop that if you want to rap now, you have to give us something amazing.
You got to come correct.
You know, and I think that's why the definition has changed.
Yep,
and freestyle has come to mean a verse that you wrote, but it's not intended to be consumed as a song. It's intended to be consumed as bars.
Loose thoughts.
Yeah.
Bars.
Bars.
Makes sense.
That's actually a great way to put it. Great way to put it.
If you
had any advice for any anyone watching this that you know maybe is making music or is a rapper or is a fan, is there any advice that you have?
It's a good question. Yeah, man, for the musicians out there, I would say to you that Africa is about to have its time. I'm talking to my Africans.
Of course.
It's about to have its time. The world, after thinking we were monkeys for a very long time, like they're like, whoa, these guys are amazing. Like finally the world is starting to be like, yo, their music is the shit.
Lit, yeah.
Their fashion it's gonna happen over the next 50 years. So if you're an African creator, it's your time. It's time for you to start to imagine and dream. Imagine what it would be like if we as a people, with our culture, our food, our history, our family values, our I'm gonna say some controversial shit, our sex. Like there was, when I was growing up as a kid, there's a way sex was projected on TV, but there's a way we knock. You understand? Our rhythms, imagine if we had 30 years to contribute to global popular culture. So this is the moment. And so everything is important because we shouldn't take it lightly, you know, but at the same time, this is a moment for us to, I think, make the world a better place. And I do believe that, you know, we have a context, we have a history, we have a perspective that's going to make the world a better place. It's our time, you know.
Amen.
Man, this was so much fun. That's a good
way to wrap it up.
MI.
Yo.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Man, bro.
Thank you so much for coming.
I had fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to come, when I come back to the city,
please,
man,
you're always welcome. Just let us know. If you touch down, you're always welcome.
We're going to focus straight on the upcoming event because I think that would be dope to have that be the focus.
Yo.
Where can people learn more about it?
Yo, check us out at www.thetask, that is TASCK.com. And then just check me out on my socials, man. MI_Abaga on almost everything. And yeah, man. Thanks for having me, you guys. This is really dope.
Thank you so much, MI. Appreciate your time.
Boom, boom, boom.
Days before.
Oh, check out the album, by the way. The album is amazing. It's called The Guy.
The Guy.
We have Nas on it, Olamide, Wande Cole, Benson, Lord Vino, Tommy Owo, Jesse Jags, Ice Prince. Who am I missing? Duncan Mighty.
Yes.
Aussie Grace. It's just an amazing project.
And everyone else who is on the album.
Worked on behind the scenes. It's a beautiful body of work. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Support MI, support African music, support African culture. Boom.
Support the incredible team.
This is No Wahala. We are out of here.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Oh, man, guys. Fun.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.